Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of Scrollers Chat. On the panel tonight, we have Rick Hutchinson and Charles Daring. And before we get to them, there's a couple of house cleaning things I got to do. A couple of talking points I want to make sure I hit tonight. The first one is for anyone listening tonight, we have 10% off for tonight and Pegasus Blades and Charles Daring's patterns over at bearwood.com, which of course is Bearwood's website. And you must have a minimum order of $10 in order for that to be effective. And the actual code is 10 off and then PEGAS. That's your code. 10 off and then PEGAS.
Is that uppercase or lowercase? Because I think that makes a difference. Okay, uppercase and all together, correct?
Yeah.
And the website is singular, even though they're Bearwood's supply company. It's bearwood.com.
Bearwood.com, not Bearwoods.
Okay. Yeah, I make the same mistake in the beginning because, you know, it can get confusing, but bearwood.com. And you said that it was 10 off something else?
Yeah, it's 10% off for Pegasus Blades and for Charles's patterns. So any of Charles' patterns, but you have a minimum order of $10. Okay. All right, that's the first talking point for tonight. The second talking point is Donna Presley. She's a scroller that we all know. She's been on our show quite a few times in the past. Her brother is in the hospital, and I guess he was attacked by a bull. When he was trying to do something with a hurt bull. So he's in the hospital. So I want to send out prayers, positive vibes to her and her family. I guess she said that he was breathing on his own today. So,
that's awesome to hear.
That's a step in the right direction. But prayers are always good.
Yeah, he was, like you said, it was a hurt bull. It got startled in it, for lack of a better way of putting it, trampled him. And Donna Presley has been in the community for so long. She was my biggest cheerleader in Georgia when I was having the panic attack. She was the first one there. She's a near and dear sweet friend of mine, and I spread it to people hoping they wouldn't see it as spam, but she's done so much for us. I hope we can help her out.
Definitely. All right. And okay, so on tonight's show, we are going to talk about, with Charles, we're going to talk about the show that he just got back from, which was the Houston Woodworking Show. And we're going to talk about the upcoming NEOS picnic here in Ohio for next month. It actually is only about 3 or 4 weeks away now. Dear Lord, it snuck up pretty fast, huh?
Yeah. How do you pronounce that town? Cuyahoga Falls?
Cuyahoga, like the river.
I don't know the river. Sorry. I was telling a lady there at the show. She was from Ohio, and I said, there's going to be a show there. Yeah, she probably looked at me when I tried to say the name of it. I said, it's Kaya something Falls. I was promoting you.
That's Indian for Twisted River is what it is.
Oh, that's much
Bending easier. River, something like that. Because it has so many bends in it. The Cuyahoga is very, very, bendy.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll go over that. Charles, you want to go first? You want me to do the NEOS stuff first? It's up to you, bud.
Well, as far as the show, I can let you get the NEOS out of the way. And do you want to let Rick introduce himself? Or?
All right. Yeah, we should probably do that too. Sorry, Rick.
I'm pretty sure half the world knows who Rick is, but we got to do the little stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead, Rick. Sorry about that.
Either way, Rick Hutchinson, have a website, scrollsaws.com. Been scrolling since, I don't know, about 1990, I suppose, somewhere in there. Keep at it.
Awesome. Real quick note, Lee. Katie Dawson pointed out, and I forgot to mention this, so I'm glad she did. Donna, if you go to Donna Presley's Facebook page, she has a PayPal set up if anybody wants to help. That's where you can do it. And if I can remember to after the show, I'll put it in or give Lee the link to put in the description or the comments.
is the show open on Friday too? Trying to think, Jim. If you're referring to the NEOS show, yes, we're set up on Thursday, and then Friday is open and Saturday is open. No show Sunday. Open at 9 a.m. on Friday.
Just Friday and Saturday. That's kind of rare.
Yeah, we did it that way so the vendors would have a chance to get home by Monday. We did it on Sunday last time, and like nobody showed up, so we took a page out of Dubuque's way of doing things, and we're gonna try it Friday and Saturday. See how that works. All right. Let's see. I'm glad you told me about the PayPal. So yeah, there is a PayPal set up for Donna's brother. It's on Donna's page. So if you go to her website, I think that's where it's at. Or is it her Facebook page? I can't. You know, Charles, is it on her Facebook page?
Sorry, I was multitasking. What are you talking about? the PayPal link?
Yeah, is it on her Facebook page?
It's on her, yes, her Facebook personal profile page.
Okay, so it's on her personal profile on Facebook. That's what.
And
okay.
if y'all can't find her, message me and I will send you the link if you're on Facebook. And hopefully we'll remember to do it under this video too.
Cool, Jim. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot. You're close by. Twinsburg. It's very close. It's practically next door.
Yeah, we got Katie Dotson, Bob Lee, Jim Brashear, John LaCourse, which is Be Happy Woodworking and Honeybees. Ron Norris just joined us, Mr. Clickety Click Click. Yep, Chat Nuggets, and Bob Lee, Brian Bradburn, Harneal Media, which is Steve Neal, and my website guy. He's awesome guy. Also, he's a member of Harneal Media Network. Great group of guys. Patrick's Workshop jumped in, and good to see him. I missed some messaging from him because I've been so busy and out of town and haven't done social media. And Dennis Goodson has joined us, and I believe that's everybody as far as I can scroll up. Back to you, Lee.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, guys. First thing we're going to go over for NEOS Picnic is, if you guys don't already know, head on over to our website, which I'm going to screen share with you guys. This is fun. I have too many screens open. Okay. There we go. Present to everyone. Click on yourself. There you go. All right. Now, ooh.
If y'all have never been to a woodworking show or scrolling, I've never gotten to go to a purely scrolling themed show, and I'm looking forward to when I can do that. But if you ever get a chance to go to one of these shows, it's worth it. I mean, people you've been talking to for years are there. There's no words for that. There is no words for it. But I know Rick Hutchison has been to quite a few Scroll Saw events. I think he even ran one or two. I know Lee Nyden's run a couple or been involved in them. But it's awesome to get to see vendors and seeing all the different tools they have. And they usually have show specials, meaning their pricing is lower than usual, like on their website or whatever. Back to you, Lee.
Yep, and the most fun part about the shows is you get together with a bunch of other scrollers or woodworkers, and they're a lot of fun, and you get to see your friends that you don't really see all the time. So
absolutely,
like I got to meet Rick in Dubuque.
I've been talking to Rick for years. I've yet to get to meet him. It would be a pleasure for me. I can't speak for Rick though. He'll be hiding behind stuff, saying, "Well, the Charles is coming, hide me."
I can't remember if it was last year or the year before that I met Rick. I think it was the year before. But yeah, I finally got to meet Rick, which was awesome, and I got to meet Steve a couple times.
Yeah, I think it was last year. I saw the picture. It was, but you were standing off to the side in a military cap of some kind.
Oh yeah, my USA hat. Put the eagle on it. Okay, so here we are. Our club website is neosclub.wixsite.com/home. Come over here. This is our front page, the home page. You'll see all the stuff here for the event. This other part is if you want to become a member of the club. and then this other one's about the club. But the one you guys are interested in for the event is down here. The suggested lodging is still up here. Right under that, we added our new teachers. Some of these are the same, some of these have changed. The pyrography artist just changed. I had a new pyrography artist. This guy's name is Chuck Poley. He actually runs both the pyrography Facebook groups. His work is just absolutely amazing. This box right here doesn't really do it justice. I'm not sure if he'll have this at the show or not, but he did a box, and I mean, it's a big box. It's like goes at the end of your bed. It's that big, and it's got pyrography on each side of it with animals and cactuses and all sorts of stuff. And it took him, I think he said something like 395 hours to complete. So it's really amazing. And then he's got the Celtic border around it on each side, and it's got 4 sides. So it's really nice. He'll be doing the pyrography class. So if you guys want to sign up for him, you just click here underneath and it'll take you to the sign up page. This right here is Mark Gifford. He'll be doing our Intarsia class. Sign up, of course, you just click right there. And then the Scroll Saw artist, this Murray Newton, he's coming to do the box making class. And then down here is Melissa McDonald. She'll be doing the pen turning class. And then the scroller registration is the class registration. You can click on that. And then if you're coming as a vendor, there's still, I think, 1 or 2 spots open for your vendors if you're still interested. Vendor registration's right here. Click on that. And then this is some of the vendors that have already decided to come join us. And their website links, if you click on them, I will go to their website. And then we will be having, if you guys click on this, it'll list the classes for you. And the dates, the day prices for at the door. You can still advance register. But I would really, really hope you guys get it into me as quick as possible because the club needs the money for paying for dinner and doing catering and paying for the building, paying for supplies for it, etc. If we get that money in early, it helps us out. So the sooner you guys can get it into us, the better. There is only 3 or 4 weeks, I think, before the show. So the faster you can get it in to us, the better. You can do it the day of, but we'd prefer to have it in advance for the reasons I just mentioned. So the 1-day admission is $5, 10-day for both days, 7-day at the door for non-SAW members, 6 days at the door with a valid SAW ID. So if you guys have your valid SAW ID, bring it because you're going to save $1 on your number or on your admission.
And who doesn't want to save $1?
Yeah, everyone wants to save $1. All right, so seminars and demonstrations come down here, and Intarsia class, that's going to be Mark Gifford, and that starts at 9:05. Basics of pyrography will be with Chuck Poley. That starts at 10:05 to 11:05. Come down, and 1:30 to 2:30 is the class for box making, and then after that is Melissa McDonald's pen making class. That's from 3:30 to 4:30. And then the classes are just pretty much the same the next day. The only difference with the next day's schedule is we've got the raffle winners announced and the contest winners to go over for the Scroll Saw contest. There'll be a dinner Friday night. If you guys want to come to dinner and you want to have a dinner, please send this in immediately because we need more registrations for dinner in order to have a dinner. The problem we're running into is we wanted to have it catered and have a really nice sit-down dinner there, but we have to have 25 people in order to do it. And right now we only have about 9 people registered for dinner. So if you're coming to dinner, please send that in immediately because we need the money so that we can talk to the caterer. Otherwise, we're going to have to figure something else out for dinner. It might be that we just reserve somewhere and everybody goes out to a restaurant. We've done that before, but I'd rather have it catered if possible because it'd be nicer for you guys. So if you are coming, help us out and get that money in immediately.
Well, Jim Brashears wanted to know if y'all were having a meetup or anything Friday night, and then he said, never mind, LOL. So I don't know if it was an inside joke or if he's referring to the Ohio show.
Yeah, I don't know what he means exactly.
So far, I think Jim and Bob Lee are going up, or Bob Lee's at least asking about it to Jim.
Bob is registered. Bob's already come.
Oh, okay, good. And we got Dan Sec. Dan Sec just joined us. He said this will be close to home. That's good. There's somebody else that could be going.
I need to say, Jim, where's your registration, sir?
Jim says he'll be there Friday afternoon, definitely.
Well, send your registration in. especially if you want to have dinner. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you ain't eating, Jim. Come on now. I'm just kidding.
Because we need the money to buy. We need the money to pay the caterer, and the caterer requires 25 people, as I said. So we need to try to get everybody to send that in if possible. All right, and then down here we've got the categories for and the sign up for the Scroll Saw contest. It's down here. Saw member, you get $7. Sorry, $6 at the show. So you save $1 on your register or your entry fee with your valid ID. So Saw member, bring your ID. Okay.
Carol Schultz says she'll be there and she is registered. Awesome.
Who said that?
Carol Schultz or Schultz without Schultz without the T.
She's a member of NEOS, I think.
Oh, okay, cool. Good to see you, Carol and Dan and.
Well, sort of. She's a member, but she's not. She said she's not going to be as active because she has a lot going on. So.
I hear you.
Yeah, one of those things. But it's all right. We love you, Carol.
Yeah, life gets in the way sometimes. I know that feeler.
It's all good. All right, so that's that. Let's see. So that's the website. And I'm going to.
I like the background of that, by the way.
What, the website?
Yes, sir. The wood board. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like the wood. My website has that same background on it too. Okay.
Right. Sorry.
So I'm gonna turn this off. And I should be able to. All right, that's the chat.
Brian Bradburn is asking, and he says, "I'm sure it's a dumb question, but Brian, there are no stupid questions. If you don't know the answer, somebody will help you." And he wants to know how to become a SAW member. You go to saw-online.com. And it should walk you right through it, right? Lee and Rick, I know y'all are very close. Well, Lee is the editor of the Sawdust magazine, and I think Rick's associated with Saw in some way. I've just slept since then. And
I'm on the BOD, so yeah. Just go to the website and sign up. It's $25 for the year.
Yeah, saw-online.com. Carol Scholes is wanting to know, will Steve Good be there both days?
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, Steve Good's great.
This is a copy of the quarterly magazine you'll get. It's called Sawdust when you sign up for your registration. And I am the editor of this, but this has all the stuff going on with other clubs in Saw, and then it has some patterns in it as well. It's kind of like a newsletter. If we flip through here, it talks about different events going on. So if there's events going on, we put it in here so you guys know what's going on. There's also some advertisements in here. I'm going to show that one. See that guy with the cowboy hat?
Oh, he's kind of funny looking. You can now get those for what that's worth. You can get those on my website now. I appreciate that being in there, but that was back before I got them put on my website. So they are downloadable videos now. You
can see here, this one here says the Orange County Scroll. This is a copy of their newsletter. So we put like what's going on about different clubs in here. So you guys can see your own club, or you can see another club that you're interested in talking, or, see what the other clubs are doing. And then on the actual SAW website, which is saw-online.org, you can go in there, and once you're a member, you can look up other members and locate them by state, by name, if you need to contact them for some reason. But you can also look up clubs in your area if there is one that you don't know about. It also has information on starting a chapter if you want to start your own chapter. That's possible too, and all that information is up on the website.
Ron Norris, being Ron Norris, I had to tell you this. Says maybe Lee should say Sawdust at the end of the show instead of click on.
Sawdust. Okay. Well, now for the fun part. I'm going to show you guys. I'm not going to walk you through everything that's a prize because we got a ton, but I want to show you some of them. These are the door prizes. What's going on for the show? This one right here is the Gizmos Gadgets book, about yay thick. This was donated by Fox Chapel, and about making gizmos. So that's one of the prizes. This is the other one that they donated, which is gear clocks. It's a book. Like so again, and they donated that one as well. In the basket for early registration, if you guys registered in time, you were entered for a bunch of stuff in there. Some PS wood blades. There's also Garnet Hall blades, but there's also going to be patterns too. But there's also these two back issues of Scholar's Choice, which is the first issue for December of 2015, and the paramedic issue, the firefighter, paramedic, police, and EMT issue right here. These two will be in that basket for you guys. As well, there will be some Garnet Hall patterns. And I'm not sure of everything. I know PS Wood Machines is putting some blade holders in there and some other things, some blades. So those will be in there. I don't have those here with me, so I can't show them to you guys yet. But I'll show you the stuff I do have. So that's that one.
Lee, while you're doing that, I will send you a DVD to give away as a door prize. It is a kind of DVD that can only be played in a computer.
Okay.
If you're interested, I know not everybody has one of those, but I got it right here in front of me. It's about how to do basic portraits on paper. If you don't, let me know.
Right here, I've got probably 4 or 5 really nice intarsia patterns that were donated by Garnet Hall. Along with these, he donated a pack of sawbird crow-saw blades to go with them, which he sells at his website.
Sawbird, Garnet Hall.
Yeah, these are similar to Flying Dutchman's, but they're like his own blade. These are actually made in Germany. So this one here is the number 5. 7 reverse teeth.
Yeah, they are exactly like Flying Dutchman. The name is changed once it comes from Germany to here.
Right. Now the ones that I got next are all from Bruce Worthington, and he sent us over a bunch of patterns as well. This is the whole stack of Bruce Worthington patterns that he sent over. There is. This one was most recently in the Fox Chapel. That's the deer, the moose, the birds, the zebra, the baby zebra.
He's got some good ones.
2 bears hugging, which was on the cover of our issue, Scholar's Choice. The owl. And the wolf.
I love that one.
The fox.
Is Bruce Worthington going to be at the show?
And there says an eagle, but I don't know what happened to his page at the moment.
Do you know if Bruce will be there?
He will not be there because Bruce is having an eye condition and he has double vision right now.
Understood.
He was going to be there doing the Intarsia class, but unfortunately he couldn't do it. He said if he's feeling up to it and we do it again next year, he'll be back. So
awesome.
He just needs to take a little breather and let his eye heal. So,
somebody who works very closely with us, Jeanette Square. She's a great lady.
Yeah, and actually Jeanette contacted me about a week after Bruce said he couldn't do it, after I had already found somebody else, and said I'd be interested in doing it. And I never thought in a million years she would. So I thought she was too far and it wouldn't happen ever. But I didn't even think to ask her for that reason. But after she contacted me, I went, oh man, I should have asked her. But she couldn't do it this year. But she said if we do one next year, can keep her in the loop. So
good deal.
So these are the rest of the saw blades that are Garnet Hall blades. So each one of these goes with the pattern. So those are over there. And then we got a pack of Flying Dutchman blades. This was donated by Wooden Teddy Bear. These are the number 5 Ultra Reverse 0.37 width W, 15T, and 15 TPI. So, yes. One end has a crimp. That's the top of the blade. So, yeah. So those are donated by Flying Dutchman. And that's pretty much it for the pattern or the prizes right now. We got some other stuff that's going to be there once we get to the show because we don't have it yet.
I don't think people realize how much work goes into trying to get a show started, much less orchestrated or choreographed, for lack of a better word. Rick, you've started some shows in the past, haven't you, or at least had a lot to do with them? You're muted if you're talking.
I've had a lot to do with them. I haven't really started them or held one, but I've had a lot to do with them.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the amount of work that goes into trying to get one going.
We got our
Actually, on the SAW website, there is a checklist and stuff of all the things that are suggested that you do to hold the show.
Yeah.
First time we did the show, we just copied that checklist and we go right down to Saw's bylines. So when we do our scroll saw contest and whatnot, it's all the Saw's rules. So that's the way we do it. But I wanted to show you guys, we got our ribbons. We got our first place ribbons in this week. Our second place ribbons came in this week. And the third place ribbons came in this week. So I got my ribbons, and I got the best in show ribbon back this week, which is right here.
Dennis Goodson is asking if anyone or is the Saw Spring newsletter, is that supposed to come out this month?
Yeah, it's behind schedule just a tad. Just a tad. We just started working on it, so it'll be out as soon as I get it done. The board was a little behind schedule.
Understood.
Yeah, because we just started working on it, and I would expect that it would be out. I know there's some people that get them now that are just PDFs. They don't get the prints now because I guess they got that option. So I'd imagine if you signed up to get a PDF, it won't be too much longer before you get it. Print might take a while though, because you still got to send it to the printers and all that.
Yeah.
But there's always an option for you. You would have to ask Misty, but I think you can sign up and have it sent to you PDF. But I'm not sure. I would imagine you could probably have it sent PDF and print if you didn't want to wait all that time. But you'd have to ask Misty on that one.
Misty Valestin.
I don't know on that one. I'm sure. I don't see why that would be a problem, but I'd have to ask Misty.
The PDF is actually put up on the SAW website.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah, it's put up there, isn't it?
As soon as I get it, I put it up. So they're pretty quick. And then the ones that ask for the PDF file, I think Misty just sends them right over to the SAW website page.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot. That's right. It's on the website. Yep. Good that I have Rick on the show. Back me up. All right. All right. Well, that pretty much covers it for the NEOS show. Like I said, if you guys have registrations and you're thinking about coming and you haven't sent it in yet, please, I'm begging you. I'm being sweet, like a shake with a cherry on top and chocolate. Please send it in immediately, if not immediately, like within the next couple of weeks, because we really need to get those funds in to do things ahead of time.
And we don't want Lee to cry.
Pay for food, etc. Okay. All right. Enough said on that. Let's go over to Charles and talk about the Houston show. All right.
Already, Dave Hart just joined us.
All right. I'll watch the chat. You talk to everybody.
Okay. All right, if you don't mind.
And don't let me forget to mention the lumber guys before the end of the show. All right.
Well, actually, if you want to do that now, since you're still presented, is why I said that.
Okay. Well, I clicked on you for a second, but all right. I went back to me anyway. All right. One more thing I want to do before. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of scatterbrained tonight. I'm looking at my talking points as I'm doing the show. So, all right. So one thing I want to do to you guys, the guys that are coming to the show for our lumber, it's called Daw Lumber. They're out of Southington, Ohio. Now, these guys will ship worldwide. Their website is not set up to do online orders currently, but if you call them, they can ship to you worldwide. So I want to show you guys their website and introduce you to them. So if you do want to order from them, you can do it by calling them on the telephone. All right, let me go to their website, which I think I can just do something nifty.
Not to tell you how to do things, Lee, but maybe just tell them the website. We'll repeat it a few times.
Well, hang on one second.
Alrighty then.
I'm just going to show because I want to show them where the where they have their prices at, because it's kind of all right. If you go to their website, this is their website right here, dolllumber.com.
Doll Lumber.
They're out of Southington, Ohio, and this is their phone right here, TTO89. So if you guys want to order from them, you can contact them here. They're got. This is their.
I like how their sign says "We buy trees." You don't see that very often.
Yeah, they're really trying to be green with their wood. So I think this is the mulch. Yeah. There we go. All right, so this is just some of the woods they carry. So soft maple, ash, basswood, beech, birch, black walnut, butternut. What's this one? Catalpa. That's what I say. Cherry, ambrosia maple, cherry, hard maple, gem cherry, or hickory, soft maple, sassafras, red oak.
Did you really just say sassafras, Lee?
What is that one? Sassafras.
Sassafras. I'd love to go into a store and ask for some sassafras and say, "You get out of my store."
Some sassafras. All right, white oak. All right, so
that was funny.
And then if you guys go right here, their pricing is listed under here. You can download the PDF, and they have their pricing listed on it. But yeah, like I said, they're not set up to take orders online yet, but they do ship worldwide, so you guys can order them from wherever you want.
Except online?
Yeah, you just have to call them.
Okay.
Ambrosia soft maple. It's all right here. There's all their prices. All right. Pages. All right, guys. I wanted to show you guys that so you can keep them in mind next time you need to buy lumber, because they're helping us out, so I'm going to help them out. All right. Stop sharing. All right. That's all for that one. That's all my talking points, so I guess we can go over to Charles now, huh?
Yes, sir. I can do a little bit of generalizing talking, but I'll probably do better if the chat and or panel will ask questions. It's easier for me to remember details if people ask questions, but I will try to generalize. How it was for me personally, anyway. Jim Brashears wanted to know if that wood is rough sawn. I guess it's dolllumber.com if you want to check that out, Jim. He probably closed the page.
Yeah, it's dolllumber.com.
And he was asking earlier if you had to build a doll with their wood, and I'm saying I hope not. But anyway, I personally, there's so many reasons I had fun at the Houston show, because I did not have a panic attack. And if y'all have heard about me with Georgia, that ruined my weekend, but I did not have a panic attack this weekend. That's why I'm talking about panic attacks again, but it made it so much more enjoyable that I didn't have one. I had my wife there with me. I was there with Stephen and Annalise from Bearwood Supply Company, bearwood.com. And I forgot you're covering the chat, so I don't want to get distracted by that. But Wesley Balco, a great guy. Was so glad to have seen him there, because he's an asset to the team, and he rocked it. Him and see, my brain's in a fog because I'm trying to remember everything. But he did the first demo. He was only drilling pilot holes, and people started circling the booth. I mean, or semicircle, because we were in a corner. But he did an awesome job, an outstanding job. Jeff Robinson just joined the chat. He was there. He brought me some Dr. Peppers. I need to mention that. I'm glad he's there, because I need these little pointers to make me remember some of the little things. And that was one of those sweet little things. He brought me some, I believe it was a 4-pack of those little bitty Dr. Peppers. And I made those last the whole weekend. I don't know how I did it. But anyway, I got to see Jeff Robinson and his wife, but I'll talk about the show in general first, and then all the people I got to meet. Not all of them, because I don't remember everyone by name. But yeah, the Bearwood booth, in my opinion, went well. I don't know. I don't go to enough shows to know what numbers are considered good. But I believe there was an average of 600 to 900 people each day. It started to slow down somewhere around 4 p.m. every day, but there was still some activity. Laney Shaughnessy was there with Digital Carver. It was good to see him again. Steve Good was drooling over the lasers in the back half, or the other side of the thing. So he said, and I could tell when he came back, he had this grin on his face. I finally got to meet Steve Good's wife, Patty. Wonderful woman.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yes, she is. I'm so glad I finally got to meet her. And when I met Steve Good in Georgia, he was doing his thing, and I was just there as an attendee. I wasn't, involved with anything there. So it was good to finally get to talk with Steve Good at length. He's such a great guy, great advice. We got to Wesley Balco and myself taught Annalise, the co-owner of Bearwood. Wesley Balco taught her how to use a flat blade. I taught her to use spiral, and in my opinion, I may not be an expert on what's good and what's not, but she rocked it. But no, I'm going to take that back. I need to give myself a little bit of credit here. Anybody that's done scrolling for years knows what's good and what's bad. She's like Michael Anthony Sr. or something like that. Michael Murray Sr. You could not tell she was a beginner. I mean, yeah, every now and then you get little waves in the line, but she was very good at maintaining both styles of blades. She preferred the spirals, and I said, awesome, we got somebody to the dark side. Also, Stephen, the other owner of Bearwood, he did something for his son, and he used only flat blades, and he got to have Steve Good teaching him, so he was thrilled about that. But I was thrilled for both of them. They got to experience it. The funny part for me was I had never used a DeWalt before that day. And if any of y'all had the patience to sit through some of the we had a lot of live feeds going on. But if you watch the parts where I'm on there, you'll see me reaching underneath the table on the right, because I'm used to the power switch for my saw being there. But DeWalt's up top on the front. And so I'm constantly, and you'll see me looking off the camera saying, it's up here. Little inside jokes like that. But you could see where I wasn't used to different things, like about the DeWalt, the tensioning. But we had the Pegasus chuck head on there, and that's kind of a one and done deal. And you can get that Pegasus wood chuck, I think they call it a Pegasus wood chuck or wood clamp or something like that. You can get that on bearwood.com. It's not made for DeWalt, but it works on DeWalt. As weird as that sounds, but once you've got that installed, you set the tension the way you ordinarily would on a DeWalt with that round slider thing, and after that, it's just the white lever on the front of the Pegasus chuck. So once you've set that tension once, you don't have to do it again, unless, like on some tools, when you break a scroll saw blade, you have to reset that stuff. But that made it easier for me. I had to get used to raising the arm, because on my Hegner, it's a spring thing where the arm is always up when there's nothing in it. So that took getting used to. I don't have a blower on my saw, so I had to get used to putting that little snake-looking blower on the pilot hole so the dust would get out of the way. While I'm thinking of stuff, is there any questions in the chat, Lee?
Yeah, Ron asked you, what did you thought overall of the DeWalt?
The DeWalt, that's another funny thing we talked about. Some people say DeWalt, some people say DeWalt. I liked it. I thought I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it because I'm so in love with various scroll saws. It's hard to pick just one, but I liked it more than I thought I would, because I thought it would take a lot of getting used to, and it did take getting used to because of my habits of how I do things. But it's not a hard saw to use, and I guess that's probably the first answer I should have given. I like it, and that was the first time I had ever used one. But that's the answer to that one. it's a good saw. And I was telling a lot of people at the show that it's a very common middle of the road saw. And I may have helped. I don't want to take full credit, but I may have helped Ray over at Seiko get his saw sold because somebody was asking about the difference between Seiko and the DeWalt, and I was telling them all the differences, and they went straight over to Ray. I finally got to meet Ray at Seiko, and I know for years we've been talking about how great he is with customer service, and it's all true to the core. He's very down to earth, good old boy, for lack of a better word. Very easy to talk to, very straight to the point. Don't have to guess what he's talking about. He doesn't BS you. He doesn't try to push you like an old used car salesman. He's all about customer service. Whether you're talking scroll saws or anything from Seiko, this man is always, anybody that's been in the community knows. If he doesn't have the answer, he'll find it. If something goes wrong, he'll fix it, which I don't know of anything that's gone wrong, but that's that kind of customer service from that guy. And Ray is a wonderful guy. I'm so glad I got to meet him. On a personal note, I got to meet people that I've been talking to online for years. You know how you have friends on Facebook or other social media that you've been technically friends for so long with, but you don't necessarily chat with them all the time? Two good examples of people I got to talk to at length that I've been friends with forever were Norm Nichols, the guy, his profile picture has that curly mustache, and he was wearing like a tux. I think he was one of the head guys that was running the show. And another great guy, this guy, we hadn't gotten to talk in so many years, but he was outstanding to talk to, and I'll try to post pictures as soon as I can. But Billy Ellis, wait, I think I got his name right. I feel like an idiot if I didn't. He's been, and I think Rick Hudson's probably seen his name for years in the community. But I'm starting to doubt the first name. I believe it's Billy R. Ellis. But he was the only other person there in a cowboy hat, so I felt like I had a brother there. But there's so many people. I don't want to forget anybody. But as far as people I've talked to for years and finally got to meet, those were two of the ones that stick out of my head.
Oh, Carol, that was the standard arm. The standard tension for the DeWalt, even on that one. She's asking if there was a different tension on that DeWalt, but it was the same one. It's standard DeWalt tension on the top of it.
On the top of it, yes, but when you have that Pegasus chuck, you only have to set that standard tension once, and then that white lever retensions it and releases the tension.
Maybe that's what you meant.
Technically, the chuck was the tension setup, so no, that is not the standard DeWalt. It had the Pegasus chuck on it.
Yeah, thank you for clearing that up. I didn't know how to word it. You know me in words.
Yeah, that's what I think she was asking. If the chuck was different. Yeah, so that answers your question.
Yeah, and not to go past what you've been doing in the chat, but I noticed a couple things that were talked about. Katie said I looked relaxed and confident in the video, and she said she's glad to see that. I was glad to feel that. I can't even tell you. That made the whole weekend enjoyable because I had fun the whole time. It's so fun getting to talk to people, getting to meet so many people, and every now and then you'll have somebody walk up. I've been watching your videos for so long. Now I know y'all know that Steve Good had had oodles and oodles of people that could not wait to meet him, and I'd hear people in the background behind me. Oh, I've been following you for so long, and that was great. And you know, Steve being Steve, he was gracious to everybody he met. Of course, I have not used the Seiko yet, Ron, but I am sure working on it. Where was I? Oh yeah, Steve Good, and I got to meet about 5 or 6 people that I hadn't met previously, because even when I'm talking to somebody, I am paying attention to them, but I pay attention to what's going on around me in case somebody needs a help. And I saw this older guy and a younger girl, looked like a granddad and a granddaughter or something like that. But they were looking over at me, and the little girl kept giggling, and I had to acknowledge her. I said, I see y'all over there looking at me and laughing. And that little girl, turned red laughing again, and it turned out to be a guy named Alan Barr. And I believe
Alan was there. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, you know him. You know him.
Yeah, I love Alan.
I assume the girl with him was his granddaughter. I apologize if it's his actual daughter. Her name was Jenna. I don't want to reveal too much out of respect for privacy, but it was awesome to talk to them.
Was he selling wood there?
No, I don't think he was. I didn't get to do a whole lot of walking around because I didn't want to miss helping out in the booth, the Bear Wood Supplies booth. But it was a treat to get to meet people like Alan Barr. There was another guy that I knew I shouldn't have started trying to list names because I'm gonna forget people. I made at least 5 or 6 Facebook friends from it. You know, you meet there, and if they happen to have social media, we're trading info. Can't wait to reconnect. One girl was there, googly, to meet Wesley Balco because he does Scroller Cafe. Not the same one you do, but I think it's called Scroller Cafe or something like that.
Yeah, it's a Scroller Cafe. I might Scroller Pattern.
And she, yeah, okay, good to know the difference. She was googly-eyed over him, and that made me feel good for Wesley Balco because I think, in my opinion, Wesley Balco undervalued himself there, but he was a very, very good commodity to have there. He was very, very friendly, nothing fake about him. And I know if you've been to shows, you can tell people are just doing it to do it, but his heart was behind it. His smiles were genuine. He was very helpful with the booth as well as with individuals and teaching Annalise how to use a flat blade. I'm trying to think of who else. There's just so many people. There's one guy who's talked to me for quite a while, and my wife while I was doing live demo stuff. And I can't remember everything. God, I wish I should have brought a list of names for this. I don't want to leave people out. Yeah, it's flattering when somebody knows your name. And for me, I wanted to make it as pleasant as possible for them because I'm generally the awkward type, and I know that leaves a lot of openings for a lot of jokes, but I wanted people to feel welcome, and I made it clear from the start that when I was inviting people to this show, I said, this show isn't about me, it's about all of us, and it's not about any one person or any one company. And so even when I was asking people to come out to the show, I said, I want to meet y'all because, we all know there's people out there that say, come out there and meet me, come out there and meet me. No, it's about us meeting y'all too, because that's what makes the community work. And I know both of y'all would agree with that. And there are times I undervalue myself, but I feel like as a whole, the whole thing clicked because everybody was genuinely genuine. They were friendly, willing to help. If they didn't know the answer, I would point over to somebody that knew the answer. Like if they asked me about a flat blade, I don't want to know anything about a flat blade. Although I do know, to my knowledge, the modified geometry is the most popular Pegasus brand blade. I could be wrong. Stephen Denison or his wife Annalise could correct me on that, but I'm pretty confident on that. Steve Good did a did a presentation to a group. I believe they were based out of Georgia or DFW Scrollers. They were also there. He did one about cutting leather paper and fun foam, what they call fun foam. And he had audience participation in that. I have it on my personal profile, because I set up my phone and did a Facebook live stream. So if you want to see that, that's where that is.
I was watching that one. That was a good class.
Yeah, it was. And but people might be wondering why I wasn't staying in frame is because I set the phone on a tripod and left it there where he was standing when I left it there. But I was in the back of the room with an actual video camera trying to follow him with the camera and zoom in and out at different things. So that's why if he went off screen, I didn't follow him with the phone. Steve Good was very helpful to people. He was very helpful to the booth. Stephen and Annalise, obviously. It was great seeing them. I mean, they're from Canada, and they had to travel from Vancouver, British Columbia to get here. And y'all can tease me all you want, but when the show was over, I was in tears because you don't get to see close friends all the time, and knowing it could be a long time before you see them again, make fun of me if you want, but it made me sad to know it could be a while before I saw them again. So it was very meaningful. You cannot put words or a price on getting to meet the people you interact with, the people you get to meet for the first time, the camaraderie of the community, woodworking, any kind of making. There's no words for it.
And always make sure to take a picture, because next time you come by to the next show, they might not be there.
Exactly. And amen on that one. I never got to meet Dirk Bowman in the past, and I wish I would have. That's a good example.
That's what the one I'm bringing up, because Dirk and I got a picture, and then he was going to be, back at the next one, I thought, and didn't work out.
It was a very big loss in the scrolling community. I never got to meet him, but I wish I had. But Karen Bowman is still running the Art Factory, to my knowledge. That's his website.
Yeah, and while we're on that topic, Midwest Trade Show is coming up also after ours in August. Go over to MidwestTradeShow.com, I believe it is, and you can check out all the information for the Midwest Trade Show in Dubuque. Which is August. I'm spitballing. Rick, you got the dates in your head?
We briefly talked about Dubuque, so I'm hoping, not promising, but hoping to be there. And see, that's one thing that changed, folks. And I know I always talk about my anxiety, but after making it through this weekend and having my wife there as mental support, my confidence level jumped above the roof. And Bearwood is letting me be, because before this show, I had never been involved in putting on or helping in a show, rather than just being one of the people walking around looking at everything. So that gave me the confidence, and I think the ability to do more traveling for shows. And Dubuque, Iowa might be one of the ones that was on our list. I don't know. We didn't have a sit-down meeting on that aspect, but we did a lot of business talk and got to hang out with the... Did I interrupt you, by the way? I'm sorry. I have a habit of doing that. Did I?
No, you're good.
I'm so sorry. I think I did. Oh, I'm terrible about that. My apologies to the viewing audiences.
If you're going to Dubuque, I'll be in Dubuque.
I can't guarantee it, but I'm hoping. But my wife and I talked about it. As long as these things are on weekends, my wife will be able to go with me. Sadly, as all of us know, money is usually what determines whether or not we're able to go.
Think about that, dude. Rick Hutchinson, you, Charles, me, all under one roof.
Yeah, I'd love to finally get to meet y'all. I've never. Oh God, me and Rick in the same room would be a hoot altogether, and that's a dig on myself. But Rick knows I'm a goober, but he's not afraid to tell me that to my face.
I'm not sure if he decided yet or not, but Garnett might be back too next year.
Garnett Hell. Okay, awesome. Yeah, having my wife there helped immensely. I mean, even though she didn't have to soothe me through a panic attack, I think it helped me mentally stay calm, because I knew she was always going to be there. And Stephen and Annalise were just as supportive, but it turned out I didn't need... I mean, I took my meds every morning. There weren't any issues. I made it a point to eat this time, which I didn't do in Georgia, and I think that played into the major panic attacks. And I keep making it about that, but this is such a milestone for me, is why it's such a big deal for me. But after this past weekend, I feel like I could tour the world if the money's there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying pay me. I'm saying my willingness has gone up tenfold. And I'm very flattered. I'm not bragging. Well, maybe I am by definition, but I'm proud of it. I got asked to do 2 classes, and I've never been asked to do that before. And I'm tickled to death about that. One of them is for a woodworking group. One of them is for a company yet to be announced, because I got to respect privacy and timelines. But I will be teaching a class on spirals for the company, and teaching pattern making at the woodworking group, and I will announce those as they come up. And Dallas-Fort Worth DFW Scrollers have invited me in the past, but Jeff Robinson, Claire Gideon, and her husband Glenn, all three. Jeff has been trying for months to get me to go to one of these, and I always forget, because if it's not right in front of me, I'll forget, and I'm a goober like that. But I am going to do my darndest to go visit their club meeting on the 28th of this month. So that's going to be a treat. They want me to try it out, see if I like it, and consider becoming.
Sorry, I didn't mean
to. Go ahead.
Ron said did some of Dirk's patterns. So
yeah, Dirk was. Oh, I wish I could have met him. I know Carl Taylor's met him because I've seen videos.
And I became friends instantly. he's one of those guys, you know, you talk to him once and he's just awesome.
Yeah, you can't help but like him. And Katie
Yeah.
Dodson saying Charles Daring seeing your confidence go up is awesome. And Katie, that is why I am talking about it so much, because I don't know what happened in this weekend other than being involved in the Bearwood Supply booth that made my confidence go up, because I've always been able to talk to people. And I was telling my wife that on the trip home. I said, why is it I'm such a people person, but I let anxiety rule my world? It can be mentally crippling, but yet I felt like I overcame both of those this weekend. That's why it meant so much to me. And I'm sorry to make this so personal about me. It's about the show, but I'm going to do everything I can to do these 2 classes I'm being asked to do. One of them's back in Houston. The other one's east of Dallas in Rockwall or something like that. Back to whatever else. I forgot where I was at because I'm Charles Daring, and that's what I do. Oh, Dallas Fort Worth Scrollers, DFW Scrollers, I believe, is their website. They want me and my wife there to see how we like it. And if we like it, they want us to consider becoming members, which is a very real possibility. But it's like, you know, you see in the movies or a TV show and the angels are, oh, and the light shines down. That's how I feel mentally. And it feels so great to be in that. And the excitement. Go ahead. Yes,
Charles, why don't you get Bear Woods and you to come to Dubuque to the Scroll Saw show?
Well, I'm all for it, but I can't speak on behalf of them until I know whether or not they are able to. I know that's another thing. If y'all are just hearing about Bearwood for the first time, they are very active in the community. But yes, I think they like the idea of it. But I since I've slept since then, I don't remember yet if it's a given that they're going. But being that they're in Canada, you know, they got a business and all these other things. But I'm hoping that they plan on going to Dubuque.
At this time, he's considering it.
Yeah, it's not my call, but I'm very hopeful that they will. And 2 people I would like to mention that are in good with Bearwood that didn't get to be there that we wish could have been there are Hagner. I'm an idiot. Hector Garcia and Sterling Davis. I've met Sterling Davis before in Georgia. He's another sweetheart of a man. Hector Garcia I've not gotten to meet yet, but I wish they both could have been there. And Hector's wife, Lindsay, is a sweetheart. Oh, and Ron Norris wants me to do the Angels one more time. Oh,
That's funny.
I have an inside joke, but I can't do it because it's a family show, but because it regards me and my wife. But anyway, and Katie's saying, Charles, having a job and knowing what your goals are can be really helpful. And I agree 100%, Katie. And I feel like I know mine, and there's no way to say this because y'all know me long enough. I cannot stand even remotely sounding arrogant, but it is what it is. I know my name is kind of known out there, but I've never been actively physically involved in the community, and I feel like that's a new step for me, and that's why I'm so happy. Yeah.
Can I interrupt you for just a sec?
Absolutely. It's your show.
Sorry, dude. I want to say goodnight to Bob before he signs off. So good night, Bob Lee. Have a good night. We'll see you next time, and I'll see you at the show.
Thank you for watching, Bob. Appreciate you having you here. And sorry if I'm talking everybody's ear off, but yeah, it's beyond exciting. Anybody that knows me knows that anytime I reach a milestone or kick anxiety in the butt, it puts you on top of the world. Anytime you kick something that's holding you back, it may not be fully kicked, but my confidence is tenfold.
Yeah, I watched that video, and you looked like you were having a lot of fun.
I was. And did you see the one? Go ahead, Rick. I saw you on mute. We haven't been letting you talk.
You come to Dubuque, and Lee and I will both kick you.
I don't doubt that, but I'll probably get kicked with a smile on my face because I would love to meet y'all too. It's been years of talking and never having met. I met so many in Georgia. There's too many to list. But it really was awesome to finally get to talk to Steve Good at length because, with the personality I have, I didn't want to be all in his face in Georgia when he was there with the Gwinnett Woodworkers. I mean, I hugged his neck. He's a sweet man. Y'all can make fun of me for using the word sweet, but when somebody's sweet, they're sweet. I don't mean sweetie, he's just a great man. And so I remember when I first met him, I hugged his neck, and you know, it was a treat. Got a picture with him. Oh, I'm thinking of more names of people I met or got to see again. Russ Meadows lives not terribly far from the show, but what what ran a lot of people off was the traffic. That they're doing construction in the area where the Houston show was, and I think that's why some people left early. They wanted to beat the rush of because there's so many closed areas and detours and crap like that. But Russ Meadows, another one I got to meet. I got pictures with a bunch of them, and so I'll be posting those throughout the days. But I got a couple custom patterns I got to get done. I know the guy's name and his face right in my name, right in front of me, but I can't think of it. It was the one me and my wife talked to for so long. But anyway,
I think Ron's taken off. He said, "I have a job. It sucks." I don't know if he's leaving or referencing something, but Ron,
no, Bob Lee was saying I have to work tomorrow, and I think that's what Ron Norris is talking about.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. You know, these things happen every now and then. I'm wrong. Ask my wife. Trust me on this. But yeah, did I miss any points about a show? I mean, does anybody have any questions?
You're lucky. My fiance always says I'm always wrong, not half time right, always wrong.
Well, so there's a difference. Mine makes me think I'm right. So if she'll give me that, I'll give her that.
Oh, you don't even get I don't even get that. I just get wrong.
Yeah, my dad told me when I got married, son, you only got to remember 2 words. Yes, dear, and it works. Yes, and for those that have been divorced 5 and 6 times, they didn't learn that. And you learn to pick your battles, but the show isn't about marriage. But yeah,
happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah. But if either one of y'all have questions specific to the show, or if you want to move topics, however, God, there's some. I know I'm going to think of different things as we continue to go. If you're willing to let me interrupt you every now and then, if I think of something, I'm glad I remembered Russ Meadows because
we've covered everything tonight, so we can just hang out and have fun now.
Russ Meadows is a great guy. I met him when he was. I traded him a bunch of scroll saw patterns for a lathe. That's how I got into turning way back. I sort of drifted away from it for now, but I got to meet him in person over a year ago, it feels like. And I got to see him again at the show, but I briefly saw his wife in the cab of the truck. She didn't get out, so I just kind of waved at her, but I've never physically met Teresa Meadows. But she was on a cruise, so I didn't get to meet her yet again. But she's a sweetheart. Jeff Robinson and his wife are there. He's saying, Steve Good asked me to do a write-up on how I cut my diamond plate aluminum clock. And thank you for bringing that up, Jeff. Jeff Robinson made a diamond plate Texas clock for Stephen and Annalise. And me and Wesley Balco were back in the back saying, dag nabbit, man, because we both had little things we wanted to do for them that represented Texas, and Jeff beat us to it. We just had, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's where me and Wes were. Jeff followed through, and him bringing those Dr. Peppers for me, it touched me. Yes, it's just Dr. Peppers, but I'm Charlie, and Dr. Pepper's my thing.
Hi, Brian Bradburn.
Not like you know me, but and little things like that. Jeff is such a sweet and sincere man, and his wife is a sweet woman, and they're great to meet if you ever get a chance.
Brian says, I totally agree, Charles. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to control my seizures yet. That's the reason I didn't make it to the Atlanta show. Hopefully, I will make it next time.
I hope you can, Brian, because to be able to overcome something, even if it's not mental, if it's physical, whatever, to be able to overcome it, to live your life. I still got a little ways to go, but it's getting me there, and I can't be thrilled enough with it. And I hope for your sake that you are able to make some of these shows. Whether or not I can go, sadly, does depend on money, but my willingness is definitely there now to go to as many shows as I can.
Yeah, if you can get to Dubuque, man, that's going to be a party.
That'd be a party and a half. Billy Ellis, that's Billy Ellis, man.
You got to be able to find a street corner to hold a sign on, Charles.
No, they'll be paying me to leave.
Take the Greyhound like me. I'll get there in 14 hours.
Man,
3 days later.
I would do dang near anything to go to every show, every year, every month.
Ask Rick what I said about Greyhound after that first trip.
The reason why I suddenly got excited, Billy Ellis is in the chat, and that is the guy I was talking about in the cowboy hat. He was the only other one there in a cowboy hat, and man, he is such an awesome guy. I wish he lived closer. How you doing, Billy, man? It's just He has a picture on his profile of me doing. I think we both did the scroll on point. That's what I tried to do in all my pictures. You know how can't think of his name, so never mind. But Bill, that was a treat getting to meet Billy after all these years. He is such a genuine, great man. I'm so tickled to see you in the chat, Billy. And not to steal your thunder, Lee, but I'm trying to get together a live show on my channel. Sorry to mention that on your channel, Lee, but with everybody that was there in the Houston show with Bearwood Supply, and maybe a couple, probably 3 to 4 that weren't there, that which they could have been, you know. However, but I guarantee with them being there, we'll remember all the details and all the names, and I'll try to be more prepared on that. But it was a treat. A treat is such a small word for what it was, but
I wonder if Steve took like some video while he was there, probably walking around.
I believe he did, but he was even doing his pattern thing. You know, that's Steve good for you, man. He still released patterns over the weekend. I barely knew my name, because and I know Steve Good can back me up on this. Even if you're healthy as a horse, man, you are sore as crud at the end of that day, because you know the standing, the walking, the mental energy, the physical energy, and with me, you know, a lot of mental. Let's see what I did there. Anyway, but it was, and what's so funny about Billy Ellis is not funny is not the right word, but he looked like a ranch cowboy out there, and it looked natural on him. He had a bandana, jean jacket, jeans. He was built like a wall. One of the sweetest men you could ever meet, though. But that was one of my biggest highlights out there, was getting to meet him. And
Welcome back, Billy.
As well as Norm.
He got logged out.
I didn't even know he had been here in the beginning. I apologize for not noticing, Billy. But yeah, I've been talking about you, buddy. I guess back to you, Lee, unless somebody has a question or a comment.
Ron said he's going to make the show one of these days, and it's not a threat. So, Ron, I really hope you do.
I don't even know what Ron looks like, so if he just says click, I'll know who he is, because that's
he walks up to me and I'll click.
Well, that's kind of been our thing. When we're talking away from the show, he'll either say he'll call people chat nuggets, because, and I assume this is family friendly, but I used to call everybody, hello, my little butt nuggets, you know. So he would call me a nugget, or he'll say click, 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 and that's our thing. So I'm all he has to do is say one of those 2 words, and I'll know it's him, because I have no clue what he looks like. I haven't taken the time to look. Yes, I am funny, says Billy Ellis. Man, that was such a treat. I don't want to keep going on about that, but it was, man, there's no words for it. Well, Rick, I want to ask you, you've been to a lot of shows. Was there anybody that you finally got to meet that just, I mean, I know you're not as giddy and whatever as I am, but was there anybody you've ever gotten to meet at a show that it was a treat for you to meet them?
Oh, I've met so many people. You know, I've met a lot of the, like Dirk and Patrick Spielman, Roy King, Scott, however you pronounce his last name, that was Roy's partner, John Nelson, you know, all the big names I've probably met. And you meet different ones at almost every show. There's usually somebody there. So
is it safe to say that you share that same passion and the word it being a treat getting to meet some of these people?
Oh yeah, I enjoy meeting them all. You know,
yeah.
A lot of the people that I've talked to over the internet and Facebook and everything else.
Well, one thing did not change for me. People still dogged me, but they were friendly about it. It's just I'm a dogging magnet. I make it easy for people to dog me.
Make a thumbs down at the show.
Well, it's so easy. I make it. My wife was even telling me that, honey, if you talk too much, you make it easy for them to dog you. But it's never mean-hearted that I'm aware of. But it's old every now and then. But I'm sorry I interrupted you, Rick. Go ahead. I never got to meet Patrick Spielman either, and I know he passed.
Yeah, that would have been cool to meet him.
Yeah. He was involved with a lot of books. And really quickly, since I'm saying it here, Jeff Robinson says, Sunday morning, Charles was making patterns in his room before the show started. I started out in my hotel room, and then I was out back because you can't smoke inside, and I'm a chain smoker. I was trying to get a tiger. The tiger, if you can see part of it being worked on in one of my live streams, it had 500, and Wesley Balco wanted to count how many cutouts it had. So he went through my pattern, put a dot on every cutout. So we determined there's about 552 cutouts on that thing.
Wow.
So if you watch, if you go to Steve Good's Scroll Saw Workshop.blogspot.com, and you'll see a picture of Wesley Balco, and I believe it's titled Wesley Balco working on a scroll saw pattern. He's actually counting the cutouts in that picture. But I was out in the back doors of the building, smoking and tracing, because y'all know I trace mine onto the wood. Go ahead.
At Dubuque, when I didn't have a certain pattern, since it's a 2-day show, I asked the person, I said, the next day, you coming back tomorrow? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, then I'll have your pattern for you tomorrow. I went back to the hotel room that night after dinner and made them their car. So they had it the next day. So, yeah, I mean, I've kind of on that same note, I do scroll saw patterns while I'm on the I'm at the shows too. So
I wanted to, but man, by the time the day gets done, I don't know if I mentioned it. We got to hang out with Stephen and Annalise every night after each show, except for Sunday. We all went to eat and then parted ways, and that's when my tears started. But I
got to eat breakfast with a certain Rick Hutchinson, so.
Breakfast I wasn't able to do, because that's whenever I wake up, that's my coming out of nerves time. I still have nerves, but they weren't debilitating like it was in Georgia. And I feel bad for that, because Ray from Seiko and Steve Good were right there by the elevators talking, and they were greeting me, and I said, how you doing, guys? I acknowledged them, but I was still foggy headed, trying to get out of the haze waiting for the meds to kick in. So I felt bad for not acknowledging them further, but I know they understand. Again, Ray is such an awesome man, but we knew that before I even met him. But getting to meet him was great. Sorry, back to you. I don't want to take it over again.
No, you're fine.
Oh, Billy Ellis is asking, so what? So that's what he was doing in that pic. Ha ha ha. Okay, yeah. A lady I didn't even know. I was walking through the lobby on the way back to the hotel room. She said, "You're that guy that was sitting out back drawing the tiger, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." I was sitting Indian style on the ground, or cross-legged, however you want to word it. I didn't care what I looked like. I was in the shade and smoking and tracing this pattern. She took 4 pictures of me and sent them to me. So eventually, in a few days, I'll be posting. You'll see me sitting on the ground tracing this tiger onto the wood. It's little things like that. So her name was Rose Houston, and that was another friend I made on Facebook. It's just these little connections. I got a good connection with a guy from Triton Tools. He's with their company. He travels with them. His name is JD. Why I'm bringing that up, I don't know. But all these little things, they just make the shows awesome. But I cannot wait to go to a scroll saw specific show. I've never gotten to do that.
Well, come to this next one.
I'll do my darndest. But
Ohio.
I can't do a GoFundMe, because people tend to frown on GoFundMe's for things that aren't, like life. I can't speak for other people, but
let's ask the chat, shall we? If I started a Take Charles to Ohio fund,
you're putting them on the spot there.
Iowa fund, would you guys donate? There's the question of the night for the chat.
Iowa is probably more doable than Ohio as far as timeline, because we have more time before Iowa. And the chat stays silent. I love it. But no, I'm not good. I'm not good at promoting myself. I try to sell things to make money, to raise the money for these things, and it doesn't always work. I did an auction.
How many hits you got to sell before you can go to Iowa?
Well, I sold two pieces, and Jamie Page helped me do that. The guy from the UK, he helped me sell 2 horses to a guy named Mark Saunders. That's how I was able to go to Georgia. Bearwood Supply helped me with what you call it, Houston. Ron Norris.
How are you going to come to Iowa? Are you going to drive up, or?
That's.
We can tell you how to take the bus.
Well, I mean, if it's.
Don't take the Greyhound.
Okay, go ahead. Now, Dave Hart saying, I would donate to a Charles Dr. Pepper fund. That's funny right there. I love you, Dave. Now, as to how we get there depends on the finances. Honestly, that's the honest answer. Because I don't want to commit Bearwood to anything. I don't know what their intentions are right this second. So I don't want to commit them to anything regarding shows unless I know for a fact. So if it's up to me and my wife, it will depend on the funds as to how we got there, if we were able to go. But the willingness is 100% there. And Ron Norris is saying he would donate. I don't know if he's talking about the Dr. Pepper or going to Iowa. Dr. Pepper's easy to donate, but y'all got quiet on the panel now. Come on now. What's this Greyhound story?
Oh,
You just don't want to take a Greyhound. Trust me, dude. I took the Greyhound and this is just fun. I had to stop about every half an hour, and by the time my family got to Dubuque, it was almost midnight of the first day, and I had to set up first thing in the morning, and I had just unloaded my luggage.
You said you got there and had to turn right back around and leave? Was it a nightmare on Greyhound?
No, I got there so late that night that my luggage didn't even get unpacked, and I had to go to the show in the morning, first thing, and set up. I couldn't even set up the day before, I was gonna. So yeah, Greyhound is annoying. I don't recommend it because it's unless you're going on there and you're going with someone you know and you both buy a seat together, it might be a little better. But going with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, when you're going anywhere alone, it could be a crapshoot. A good thing to point out on a rare serious note is Jim Brashears is saying Dubuque is tough because there's no hub airport near there, so that justifies taking a bus, and that's good to know. So
yeah, but you know what else I'm gonna look into? I'm thinking maybe I might do the train if I can find one up through there, which might be a little bit better.
You got to time it just right jumping off. So.
I don't know if there's a train up there. Amtrak goes down through southern Iowa, but you'd be 5 hours or more away from the show.
Rick's in it. Rick is in Grimes, Iowa.
Yeah.
How far is that from the show?
I'm thinking 3 or 4 hours.
I didn't think Iowa was that big. Sorry, I'm a Texan. Everything is big. 3 or 4 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot and will not speak for Bearwood unless I have fact in my head. But I hope they will go, but I can't commit them to it.
I actually looked into it. The train leaves Cleveland, goes up to Chicago through Milwaukee, and then I'm not sure where it goes after Milwaukee. So I know the Amtrak does run up there. I'm just not sure where, and I'd have to get it and jump off.
And Ron Norris saying, "I'll just drive and pick you all up." That's a hoot.
All right, come get us.
We see this strange vehicle drive up and says, "Click, Nugget," and then that's Ron. Jump in.
You gotta get a license plate that says Nuggets on it.
I want to get one that says "Scroll On." I really am seriously considering it.
I know the Amtrak in Iowa, Lee, is clear down in southern Iowa.
Okay.
I don't know what it costs to get a what do they call it? Vanity plate. A custom license plate that's legal. I don't know what that costs, but I would love to get one that says "Scroll On."
In Ohio, they're like $60 or something like that.
Unless Mark Sherman was messing with me, I believe he may have gotten something similar to "Scroll On," but each state is different, so I wouldn't have to worry about the one that was already taken. But I think it was Mark Sherman. But yeah, I definitely would love to get a "Scroll On" one. If nothing else, put it vinyl across my windscreen or the windshield at the top, eyebrow, whatever they call it. But yeah. And my truck's white, so I don't know. I got to drive my truck to the show, which was cool because when I drove up in it, it's a family-friendly show. I can't say anything. You know what they say about people with big trucks, right?
Yes, that they're compensating for something.
Yeah, and okay, since you said that, I'll say this. I said, you know what? I love my truck so much, I don't care if it means I'm compensating. I love my truck. And so that's where that conversation ended. But yeah, they had a good little giggle at my expense, which happened a lot over the weekend.
Charles, I just looked it up here. It's from me to Dubuque is 209 miles. It says 3 hours and 15 minutes.
I think when I looked it up, no, that was Ohio. It was like 19 hours. I don't know what from Gatesville, Texas. Well, the closest airport is Waco to where I'm at. So I don't know how many hours that would be.
Well, if you fly into Iowa, Des Moines Airport is about 20 minutes to a half hour away from me.
Wow. Carol Scholes is saying round trip from Cleveland, 296. Jeff Robinson saying And this is Jeff for you. Love you, Jeff. He says, I would love to see Charles drive up in an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And you know me, I would do it with pride, too.
Hey, if we could get one, let's do it.
Heck yeah. Jim Bashir is saying Iowa is huge when you have to drive through it from Indiana. And he also says it's about,
that was fun.
He's saying it's about 3 hours for him. And Ron Norris is indeed leaving us for the night. Good night to all, says Ron. Good to see you, Ron. Thank you for being here, Nugget. Click, click.
Billy says Iowa and Ohio. They're there in the panhandle, right?
And what we're doing right here, this is exactly what being at a show is like, except it's in person. That's if y'all have never been to a show, the way we all goop around on the panel here and in the chat, that's exactly what it's like at the shows. Every now and then you meet somebody that's not the same in person as they are on the internet. But 99% of those people are genuine. They're the same way. So if you don't like Rick now, you won't like him then. But I can take Rick. I like Rick. That was a compliment. I don't know what it sounded like, Rick, but it's a compliment. You got a sense of humor I can take.
I'm just real shy, and I sit back in the corner at the shows, don't I?
You're a lying sack of poop, and I.
No, he really does. Sometimes
there are some people that cannot take Rick's sense of humor, and I have no problem with it because I run with it. That's kind of our bond, if for lack of a better word. Wouldn't you agree, Rick?
Oh yeah.
Every now and then you give me advice. Every now and then you put me in my place, but it needs done. But
I think the first time I met Rick, he was sitting back in the corner, and I had to go introduce myself to him. And I said, "Hey." So
thank you.
He does sit in the corner occasionally.
Ron, if you are, if you haven't already left, it was good seeing you on the chat, and I hope you come back next time we have one. And I tried to be. I've already. Billy Ellis says I don't get out of Texas much if I don't have to. But Billy, try, by God, because I don't think I can see you enough. I love you, man.
Ohio might be a little far for you there, Billy, but you're always welcome.
I haven't, other than my dad being in the military, I haven't gotten out of Texas much. But I'm, like I said, the willingness has gone up. Dennis Goodson saying, Billy, are you up there around Denton? Denton is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for anybody that cares. And Dennis Goodson, I believe I've talked to him a few times. He's a very good, very loyal commenter on things, and it's good to see him in the chat. Very friendly guy.
I've been to Denton, or through Denton.
Yeah, that's about an hour and a half from me. Hour and a half, 2 hours.
12 hours just to get out of Texas.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's somewhere there's this I can't think. I hate saying that word. Statistic from some such and such to El Paso is all within Texas is further apart than like California and Chicago. Something like that is some weird math.
My sister lived in McAllen, Texas, which is clear down by the border.
Oh yeah, McAllen, yeah.
When we left here, Denton was about the halfway point.
Okay. Oh, Billy Ellis is in Bryan, Texas, and he's 3 or 4 hours from Denton, or more. And Dennis Goodson says in Aggie country.
It takes us about 10 hours to get to Denton, and 10 hours from Denton to McAllen, driving hard.
Moogly. I don't know how other states do it, but a lot of Texas has 75-mile-an-hour zones. That makes trips quicker. But there was one spot that was 55 miles an hour, and I felt like I could have gotten out and jogged beside the truck. I hate driving slow.
Actually, Ohio's all 60.
Yeah, that's what Billy's saying, what I was trying to say earlier. El Paso is closer to San Diego than it is to Houston. Can you believe that? For those that don't know, I believe El Paso is very far west Texas, right in the point, somewhere in there, right there. You know, if you know how Texas is shaped, it's very far west. Yeah, Houston's a little dry, but having my wife with me, just talking the whole time, because you know how I love to talk, it felt like it took no time, but it was only about 3.5, 4 hours, probably closer to 3. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the first time I took the bus, and I went up by myself, and it kind of sucked, really. I mean, it was a fun show because I met everybody and got to meet Rick and whatnot, but the second year I went up with my dad, and we drove with his car. And since he went, it was more fun because, we stopped occasionally and stopped at different places along the way and hung out. I got to hang out with my dad, so it was fun.
So this Dubuque thing is strictly scroll sawing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with the Ohio show, or is that all woodworking?
Well, it's mostly scroll sawing, but we've added different classes for that. Like even Iowa has classes on pen turning and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Jim Brashears is saying it was 75 today, Lee, and he said I was by Sauter Village. I guess you know what that means. 88 on Saturday, today 41, says Dave Hart. It's been great in Texas. No complaints here. A little bit nippy in the mornings in Houston, but
I think we were at like 35 today.
Yeah, I wasn't saying 60 was the temperature. I was saying 60 is the speed limit.
Oh. Well, now everybody's on a temperature kick and distances. Jeff Robinson, who comes from the DFW area, he said Fort Worth to Houston is 4 hours. So their trip was a little longer than ours. I believe him and his wife travel quite a bit when it comes to shows. Yeah. I don't know because I've never talked to him much about it, but that was the second time I've gotten to see Jeff and his wife. That's
it was about 40 today here. So
okay, Jim was talking about the speed limit, 75.
I just looked at my phone. It's 37 here right now.
Googly moogly, I'm glad I'm in Texas.
Well, normally it's nice this time of year. They're talking snow again for the northern part of the state.
We're gonna get it too.
But yet we have global warming. Figure that one out.
It's global freezing is what it is.
Exactamundo. Now,
Dennis, it's all the groundhog's fault. Just blame him.
Yeah, the ground. They need to stop looking at this little rodent that sticks his head out of the ground and pay attention to the weather. Dennis Goodman. Dennis Goodson says, "I know El Paso people who think the rest of Texas doesn't include them." Billy Ellis says, "I was thrilled to break a sweat today in the shop. Yeehaw, yeah, buddy." I break a sweat constantly, but that's because I'm getting chubby. But Carol Scholes says, "Carol, I hope I'm saying that right. Since you don't have the T, I'm saying Scholes instead of Schultz. I hope I have it right." She says Turnpike 70 on Ohio. 37 here in North Georgia, says Katie Dotson. Wow.
70's on the Turnpike, she says. So it's 70 miles an hour on a Turnpike.
Yeah. The highest one I've seen in Texas is 75. I didn't, on the way to Houston, the highest we were able to go was 70. And what's really funny, I almost never get in trouble with the law. I wasn't 15, 20 minutes out of Gatesville, and I got pulled over. I was going, I was speeding, but just like in the movies, when you see, people that, see a friend of theirs getting pulled over and they'll do something to distract the cop. That's not what happened here, but some dude was stupid enough to rev his engine just as he was passing us, one of those little punk kids with a whatever glass pack motor, muffler. And he did that, and he had illegal tail lights. So the cop let us go and hauled tail after him. So I was laughing and waving when we rolled by. And Dennis Goodson saying he has kids and grandkids in Alpharetta. That's where we're at in the chat. Chat's where it's at.
Well, see, you can go as fast as you want in Iowa. You just get pulled over once in a while.
I can't.
Well, we do that in Ohio too.
See, I'm never scared when I get pulled over because I know I don't get out enough to get in trouble. So, I mean, if I get pulled over, so be it. But I can't afford it. But I got lucky. This little punk kid went by, and the trooper was very, very, very cordial anyway. And I kept my hands on the steering wheel. You hear all the crap in the news. Don't. Yeah, whole nother topic. Yeah, Billy Ellis is saying they tried not to let me out of town, but I was already a little bit out of town when they pulled me over. But it was funny. Texas State Trooper on a CB that's called a homegrown or a full blown.
Charles's ankle bracelet was probably going off.
See, the key
had
is
to come fix it.
No. Katie Dodson saying, Dennis, I'm about an hour and 30 minutes from Alpharetta. I have yet to ever get to meet Katie. That'll be another treat if I ever get to meet her and Tracy Keaton. There's so many people I want to meet. Yeah.
I met Peg.
Russell. Peg. Yeah, Peg Russell.
Yeah,
Billy Ellis is saying I got to find that kid and thank him, and he's right. But what kind of idiot passes that? That's a pure cocky idiot. If you're gonna pass, you're gonna pass flashing lights that has somebody's pulled over, rev your engine, and have illegal taillight modification stuff. I mean, you got to be the epitome of stupid.
He must have wanted to. He must have extra money to spend on a ticket. That's all.
Something, but I don't get scared when I get pulled over because I know I'm not doing anything wrong unless it's mistaken identification, and then I can't get out of that. But I got one of those faces you can't forget even if you want to. That was a whole nother topic. But anyway, I actually do have a twin brother, but he doesn't get out any more than I do. And yes, if you're going to be like everybody always says, there's two of you? Oh, God. Well, yes, there's two of me, dagnabbit.
Actually, there's three.
There's only one, Charles Daring. Yeah, there's three. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but John LaCourse, Be Happy Woodworking, he sent me a picture of himself. We are dang near twins. If I didn't already have a twin, so I might have a triplet. But he
Really said, go find that kid and thank him.
Yeah, that's what were you saying? Were you referring to John LaCourse when
yes, I was referring to your triplet. Yes.
Yeah. It's not a spitting image, but it's dang close, and it's scary how close. I'm so sorry, John. I don't even know if he's still watching, but that's funny.
Yeah, there are some people that definitely should not have automobiles.
No. Some people shouldn't have licenses.
The lady today pulled out right in front of me and almost made me crash into the side of her car. And then she looked at me like, why did you almost hit me? I was like, really?
Jim just went there like I knew somebody in the chat would. I can always depend on somebody. He says, oh, Lord, poor John. Dennis Goodson says, the last time I was there, it took me an hour and a half to just drive over to Peachtree. And I assume y'all know what that meant, or he's probably talking to somebody in the chat because my brain's gone past that, and I don't know.
What's Peachtree?
I don't know. I guess it's a town.
Sounds like a yummy drink.
A yummy drink.
Peach tea.
And Jim is saying Atlanta is horrible.
Never been.
Been once. And Jim says, always depend on me, Charles. And I know I can, Jim. And I've gotten to meet Jim, too. I probably failed to mention that.
I haven't met Jim yet, but we're going to meet him this year.
If I remember right, he was pretty darn tall. But I was so drugged up while I was in Houston, I don't remember every detail. But I know Sterling Davis is very tall. I don't know if you all are familiar with him. There's a few people that are surprisingly tall. But yeah, back to the shows. There's no words for getting to meet people you've been talking to, or new people. It's awesome. Oh, Peachtree is a town by Atlanta. I assume that's what Jim means by saying town by Atlanta.
Because you said it like peach tea. And I was like, no, darn, I want some peach tea now.
That doesn't even sound good to me personally.
Go back drinking your Dr. Pepper.
Yes, sir. That's what I do.
I can't drink Dr. Pepper. I gave up pop again.
Pop, that's a Yankee word. Come on now. And no, not Texans don't say soda water. We call it what it is. We don't call everything a Coke. If it's a Dr. Pepper, it's a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, we just call it pop.
Jim Brashear says, yeah, I still have a nose print from Charles on my shirt from the hug.
That's funny.
Oh, that's like Rick Hutchison gold right there.
He's like, I'm never washing this shirt again.
Billy Ellis, no, Sterling Davis was not in Houston, but he wanted to be. But he was in Georgia both years, or last year and this year. And I don't know how many other years, but yeah, I got to meet him last year. And Jeff Robinson says, we had a rock break out our front windshield on the way home. Holy crap, I am so sorry. Oh, funny story. Sorry to pull away from that, but I hope you're okay. Never mind, there's two more things I'll read. Dennis Goodson says, I thought I-35 in Austin and Dallas Fort Worth was bad. After driving Atlanta area, I now call it light traffic. Amen to that one. Dave Hart says, we don't say pop or tennis shoes. I say tennis shoes. I don't say sneakers. I hate the word sneakers.
Just say shoes.
Indians wear sneakers.
And Billy Ellis is saying, did you see the guy that looked like him?
I'm sorry, did you say sneakers or Snickers?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't, Billy. I did see. Well, I might have. What was the funny story I had? Oh, okay. I have bad night vision, and driving back and forth to see Stephen and Annalise where they were staying, it wasn't in the same area we were staying. So, but my night vision is terrible. where I live, when two highways merge or split, it's just dotted lines. And in Houston, it's physical medians, cement medians that blend in with the road color-wise at night. So if you don't decide it just right, you will skid into that median. I'm not naming any names, but somebody in their big white truck slid along that median and scared the heck out of his wife. Sounds like Charles Deering. But so the next night, we actually hired an Uber driver, and we'll never do that again. That guy was worse than I was. This guy stopped in the middle of the freaking highway because he didn't know where to go. And I said, babe, I think I was more comfortable almost killing us than having this stranger do it. I said, I think you accidentally called a Goober driver, not an Uber driver. This guy was worse than I was, and he lives in the area. That's sad. Anyway, that was a funny moment there. Or we were most I can say is clenched up the whole trip. No, I did not see a guy that looked like Sterling Davis. If I did, I don't recall it. Anyway, that's where we're at. But I will keep y'all posted. And there again, I will try to do a live show with everybody that was there in Houston. Hopefully a couple that weren't. I just don't know what day yet. We got to wait till we can all get together. Billy Ellis says, scary stuff right there. Some folks are just nuts for sure. Houstonites. And Jeff Robinson says, guess. I'm not sure what that has to do with, but it's because my brain isn't there. Back to you, Lee.
I don't know. I'm still trying to guess.
Don't you hate it when I make you host your own show and I stop taking over?
I'm trying to guess. I don't know what we're guessing about.
I don't know what we're guessing.
I'm confused.
Okay, Dave Hart, you said we don't say pop or tennis shoes. I don't say pop, but what do you say for tennis shoes? Sneakers? And Noah72 has joined us, says hi. Hello, Noah72.
Noah, can you build a boat?
Oh, Lord, I'm sure you hadn't heard that before. All right, Lee, back to you. I might be at the end of my babbling.
Oh, no, that's not possible.
This is true. I resemble that remark, but, for now. Billy Ellis says, keep us all posted. I'll get audio, video next time. Sneakers and soda is what Dave Hart says. I hate the word sneakers, but that's just me.
I don't know. We say pop up here. I guess it's a Yankee thing, but.
Well, yeah, Jim Shears just said gym shoes and pop. Pop is such a funny word for soda. Yeah, if you're being generic about it, soda is a word I would use, but or just.
But like if we go to a store and or a restaurant or something, and we say we want to order a Pepsi, we say I want a Pepsi. I don't say I want a pop or I don't want a Coke.
Exactly. And I hate I know this is totally off topic. I hate movies and TV shows and give me a beer. There's too many beers out there to say give me a beer.
Yeah.
Everybody says I like 2 Heinekens or Bud Lights, whatever. Anyway, Dave Hart said kicks. Billy Ellis says I used to arrest sneakers. Oh yeah, Billy Ellis used to be he told me, I don't know if it was a trooper, sheriff, or police, one of those, but yeah, I can see why he's built like a wall, and I wouldn't run from him. I probably couldn't run from him now. But anyway, back to you, Lee.
Thanks, Charles.
But if any of y'all are on Facebook, keep tabs on my my personal profile, and I will try to list whatever day we're doing the live show on my channel, and I will also post some some pictures of that I took in Houston.
Hey, look, I found my handcuffs.
Oh Lord. Anyway. All right.
Those are for work, by the way.
Well, yeah, okay. Okay, you just pulled all the pink fuzz off of them. Don't lie.
He works.
No, they're for work.
What was that, Rick?
You work at a strip club?
Dave Hart says, Charles, you would need tennis shoes to run from Billy. It's been so long since I've worn tennis shoes. I don't know I mean, I feel funny wearing them, even though it's probably would be more comfortable. I'm boots all day, all night. Well, except when I'm sleeping.
See, this I don't work the strip club. See,
He's Paul Blart Mall Cop. I'm just messing with
yes.
you. Noah says my art is sadly missing. So he got your little joke there and he responded. And thank you for taking it so lightheartedly, Noah.
I'm sure he's heard it a million times before.
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
It's probably not original.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Rick.
Is that a rent-a-cop?
Yeah, I was going to say that too, but I was trying to be nice, unlike y'all. Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Security officer is the correct term.
Oh, of course. You got to do that with your pinky. I'm a security officer.
It's a security officer on this badge. It's funny because a lot of cops, they actually see us as part of the law enforcement, and then there's other cops that don't. So
yeah, I'm laughing at Billy Ellis. He said I always chased in boots. That's how you do it in Texas, baby.
I always chased in boots. Nice.
You can run in boots. It's just not always that easy. Oh, and he says, oh, yeah, in full gear, 25 extra pounds. You go, boy. Thank you for what you did, by the way. And Dave Hart says, I was a safety.
What was he? Was he a trooper or a ranger or what?
I don't recall. Billy, the three inquiring minds. At least two of us want to know, were you a trooper, sheriff, or police?
Billy the Kid, that's what he was.
I know you told me, but I don't remember. I know it was law enforcement, but I had forgotten until you brought it back up.
Billy the Kid came to town.
With a big iron on his hip.
Big iron. Big iron.
Anywho, where are we at?
I don't know. We've got off topic. But
well, that's how we roll. I think sometimes that's why people watch, just to see how far off we can get.
U.S. safety.
It was police department. Hearn for 6 years. Port Aransas for 10 more years. Noah says, "Are you guys German?" My last name is German, but that was probably an underhanded cut down. TJ's woodworking shop has joined us. Yeah, boy. That was him writing that. I'm just saying it the way you said it. What up, my YouTube family? How you doing, TJ? You probably caught us really close to the end. You might be an hour off.
What's up, TJ?
It's up to Lee whether or not we're close to the end. But good to see you, TJ.
His house.
What's up? It's his house, y'all.
What's up to? Let's see. Burned out too many spring breaks.
What was that, Rick?
I think I meant TJ, maybe.
I've never gotten to meet TJ. Strollers chat. What's up, my brother? That's Lee Niden over in his house. Bo Rizzle.
It's me.
We like to talk about the scroll sizzle. That was stupid.
Well, yeah, how about that? I went out to Woodcraft today because I had to take a bunch of flyers out there for the show, and I asked them if they had any king saws, so I wanted to see what it looked like. And they're like, "Yeah, we got 2 in, but we sold out of them." So I didn't get to see it, but they did have a D-wall in stock, and I'm like, "Well, I already got one of those." So I told them, I said, I wanted to see the king, but I guess they sold 2 of them, so I guess they get them.
Isn't the king exactly like the old Excalibur?
Yes.
Yeah, I asked those guys that were there, and they were like, "We're not the ones that are really knowledgeable about the saw."
Excalibur was bought by this company. I believe that I don't have the exact figures and names, but I think a company called King Canada bought it. And in Canada, it's called the Excelsior, and U.S. it's called something else.
Yeah, it's not called the. As far as I know, it's not called the Excalibur anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No, but I think the king is actually the Excalibur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the similar saw, but it's made by a different company now, which is called King.
Yeah. And then Ray Seymour's got his Seiko that is kind of the same but different.
That's a beautiful saw.
Yeah.
It's got a very, very large table. The head tilts, and it has an angle gauge holder as well as an angle gauge. And I've never had a scroll saw where the head tilted. And I know Excalibur had that, but I never got an Excalibur. Dennis Goodson says, I used to drive through Hearn on my way to College Station. That's where Jeff Robinson had a rock go through his windshield. I hope you're okay, Jeff, and your wife. Yeah. So part of it's pretty much chat among the chat. So what were we just talking about?
I don't know, but I found this really cool CD on my desk.
That's exactly the one I was going to give away. But I do have, I'll let you pick which one you want to do as a door prize. I have the one you're holding. I had the one for vehicles. These are all downloadable on my website, by the way. Woodenvisions.com. This one's for short-haired animals. This one specifically is a cat and facial hair.
Oh, I don't know what happened to my CD. That's up there.
How to do it on paper. Billy Ellison, yes, Seiko is nice. Glad they got to see it at the show. I wish I could have spent more time. Ray actually invited me to sit down at the saw, but I wanted to honor my commitment to Bearwood Supply, and I think Bearwood Supply would have understood. But that is the only reason I did not go over it, because I told Ray, and it was kind of funny. I told him, honestly, Ray, I'd love to sit here, but I'm afraid I wouldn't get up, and I'd probably leave the show like a little kid wrapped around their daddy's leg. I wouldn't want to let go of the saw. So we laughed on that one. He had an employee there with him named Joe. He was a good guy too. I should give credit for that. And Jeff Robinson said he's saving up for a Seiko. Go ahead, Rick.
I see Niles is going to be up to your show, Lee. RBI.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, he was signed up for Dubuque there for a couple of years and never showed up.
Oh, he had some, his family, the one year he didn't come because his daughter had just given birth. His granddaughter was just born.
All right.
That's why he didn't come.
I don't think he's on the schedule for Dubuque yet this year, but I hope he shows up there.
Yeah, he's on mine, but he hasn't sent in his registration yet, so I'm not sure yet. Last I talked to him, he said, yeah, but hasn't sent in the registration. So
well, Billy Ellis is being very polite, saying his next saw will be in a couple months. It will be a Seiko, and he said I could come visit him and see it.
There you go.
Okay, I think Noah might be a troll because he's playing with icons and crap, but I don't have the power to do anything about it. Because
Noah, if you're not a troll,
well, he's real. He's real because he responded to your Noah comment
about scrolling.
Well,
then you won't get booted.
Well, Katie's told me that she said, "Bite me, Charles." I don't know why she even said that. I was nice to her. What did I do, Katie? Well, Noah says, "No, I ain't a troll." Obviously, I mean, there's not robots that come in here, and that's Noah. So we're just trying to cover our tails. Well, that didn't come out right. But Katie, I got to know why you're telling me to bite you. I thought I was nice to you this show. At least this show. Oh, he just likes the emoji. He was playing with emojis. Katie, tell the world, what did I do that made you tell me to bite you? To my knowledge, I was nice. Oh well.
Now she says, "What?"
Oh, Katie thought the kiss my butt was towards her. No, it was to Billy because he told me I could come visit him to see his saw. But I meant it with all the love in the world, Billy.
Billy, you might be short one saw when he leaves.
Yep, and Katie, I'll take that as a term of endearment. And TJ wanted you to know he hit the bell, which means he'll be notified of every video you put out. If any of y'all are new to YouTube and subscribing to people, you hit that bell, you will never miss a notification of when they have a video out.
I actually didn't know about the bell, but thank you. Now I do.
And Katie, if I ever told you to kiss my butt, it would be with a winky face after it. I can't wait to meet her someday. Yeah, now Billy Ellis is gonna. Noah said he subbed. Billy Ellis said he's gonna chain it down. And plus, he's former police. Yeah, I don't even want to risk it. I'm working on getting a Seiko. I'm working on it. If I have to camp out in front of Ray's house and cry, I'll do it. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do to get a good solve. That. Oh, okay, Katie Bennett as the term of endearment. I believe that with all my heart. So, by God.
Well, your name has to be someone else, and I'm not going to mention on my show. You know where I'm going with that, right?
Absolutely.
All right, then. Let's skip over that.
Yes,
Moving on.
A quick thank you to Stephen and Annalise for letting me be part of their company and part of their show, their booth at the show. That meant the world.
Yeah, let me do that while you're reminding me too. Thank you,
Glad
Steve.
I could help.
Thank you, Stephen. And what was her name? Annalise?
Annalise.
Annalise. Thank you, Stephen and Annalise, and all the people over at Bearwoods for sponsoring our Expo next month, being our chief sponsor. Thank you very much. So, guys, make sure you go over to bearwoods.com, or sorry, bearwood.com.
Hey, exactly. Don't mess it up, man. We'll whack you.
Bearwood.
Bearwood over here. Come on. They also have
I'm new to the plugging Bearwood, so give me a sec to get it
They
right.
also have a Canadian version of the website, but you can get to either one of them. It's woodparts.ca. But yes, we're American, Noah. Katie says, I so want to meet you, Charles. When you made it to Atlanta, I had some sort of respiratory plague. And I felt so sorry for you, Katie, because I really wanted to meet you. I spent a lot of time with Donna Presley in Atlanta, Georgia.
You know, it'd be cool if Katie could make it to Iowa.
Charles, how did you?
Iowa.
What was that?
How'd you end up on a DeWalt down there with Bearwoods? Is that what they picked or what?
Wesley Balco lives near there and just brought his with him. He just got it 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't know what we would have used, but we would have figured something out.
Talk to Ray and tell him you wanted a Seiko to use.
Yeah, that works.
See, that goes back to me. I wouldn't want to leave his booth, and I'd be crying. That's why I
tell him to give you a saw to take over to Bearwoods booth.
Well, I know, but then I would trip and get lost on the way, and somehow Bearwood never got their saw. It's a joke. It's a joke. I want a Seiko really badly. Anyway, so yeah. Dennis Goodman saying I'm Texan because Noah's telling everybody, asking if everybody's a Mexican. Not Mexican, American. Where the heck did that come from?
I'm from Ohio.
I'm Texan. Dennis Goodson, then why weren't you at the show so we could meet and laugh at me? Why did I say Mexican? I don't know. I was because it said Texan underneath American, and I saw both words at once. That's probably where it came from. And Katie says she's an Appalachian American, a.k.a. hillbilly. Go ahead, Rick.
I think, Charles, that when you checked on your family tree and sent in the DNA stuff.
Here comes a compliment.
They sent you a pack of seeds and told you just start over.
You're so lucky I love you, Rick. Otherwise, I'd come to Iowa just to kick you.
You have to, see?
Everyone y'all ever get to meet my wife. Every time I say something stupid, which is pretty often, you'll see one of her eyebrows lift up. She has that look. I love that woman to death. And Billy Ellis says, because I'm a half-breed Tex-Mex, that's probably why I said Mexican. And Dennis Goodson, after Rick's comment, says, I have those in my family, Start over. That's so funny. I love how this show derails, but we have fun with it. But it's funny because I hate it when my show derails, but I love it when this one does.
That's because it's not yours.
Exactly. I'm not responsible.
You're not responsible.
But it's fun being here. TJ is saying good night. It was good to see you briefly, TJ.
Good night, TJ. Good night.
Good night, John boy.
Good night, John boy.
If you drive up to Wisconsin, Charles, you'll have to stop by here.
Wisconsin?
or to Dubuque, Iowa.
Yeah, that's Iowa. Why would I go to Wisconsin?
Well, it's right on the border.
Yeah, it's
Well,
close.
Yeah,
no wonder it's such a dang long drive. I guess I need to relook at maps. Go ahead.
You got to cross through Wisconsin if you're going on.
you'll come up Interstate 35. You'll be 3 miles from my house.
Holy monkey. Now, you know me. We've already had this conversation, but I can't go to your house either. I'll leave crying because you got way too much stuff.
They have a few less saws when he leaves.
If anybody doesn't know, Rick has over 200 scroll saws, right?
He won't even notice because he has so many.
That's the antique ones.
Oh, kiss it. I love you, Rick.
I think I've sold some down here. I think I've only got 7 or 8 down here now in the shop.
Katie's saying, Charles, you are so responsible. I've never seen a show that did not derail when you were involved, and I am very proud of that. Yeah.
That's so true, Katie.
That is true. I'm guilty as charged, but it's fun. I remember that. You remember back when I had a consistent show, I used to always call Rick Dad in the hopes that he would put me in as well. Then I met Squire, and I didn't have the heart to keep that joke going. Squire is his son, and he's a great man.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff here. I keep saying I need to start selling some of it off, but
Well, just call me Goodwill or Dumpster. I'll be there either one if you just ever wanted to throw a whole bunch of stuff to Texas. Just throwing it out there. Dad. Jeff Robinson says I'd be sleeping with the scroll saws, meaning me, and that's pretty true.
He just put a cot in there.
Well, I don't know. Lee has the badge. He can guard your scroll saws. But I'm sneaky, so I'd get him fired. Billy Ellis has another note. I didn't realize Stephen and Annalise weren't scrollers. No, they were not, Billy. But yeah, it was very cool to see them learning for the first time. They picked it up very quickly. Yeah, they own a scroll saw, but they haven't used it yet because it needed to be fixed. And so I think they're both hooked. I'm pretty sure Annalise is hooked. I don't know about Stephen yet, but what Stephen did was very sweet because his one of his kids, son Elijah, I believe, did a drawing and wanted his dad to make either his dad or Steve Good. He wanted one of them to cut the drawing he did. So Wesley made it a cuttable scroll saw pattern, Wesley Volko, and that's what Steve cut out. So that one meant a lot. And the project that Annalise cut out was for her dad, so I know that meant a lot. So they both had very sincere, sweet reasons for doing their project, and it was awesome to see them succeed at it. Billy Ellis, was good to see them scrolling for the first time. Katie says, actually shows that get derailed are the most fun, not always instructional, but definitely fun. Most definitely, Katie. Noah's asking what microphone is that, since I'm the one with a big microphone in my face. It is a blue Yeti, the Yeti microphone. I think it says blue. I'm wearing my contacts, so I can't see up close. It's a Yeti microphone. It's got it on Amazon. Very affordable. It's on Amazon. And Billy's agreeing with how cool the Stephen and Annalise thing was. That was a treat. I wish
didn't realize that they weren't already scrollers.
Nope. But that's what I know. I said it earlier in the show, but that's what I admire about them. Some companies just sell stuff and that's it. But this company gets involved in the community. They help charities. When Reverend Billy Graham died, they asked me to do a Billy Graham design, and all the proceeds went to Billy Graham Foundation. So I mean, there's not a lot of companies that do that. So they're involved in the community, and that had a lot to do with why I got with them. They checked me out, I checked them out, and we liked what we saw. And one of the people they checked with to check me out was Steve Good. Thank God I haven't upset Steve Good that I'm aware of.
I don't think you can upset Steve Good.
It's probably possible, but he's good at hiding it if you do. And Steve Good is taller than you would think he is. I think somewhere you'll probably on Facebook see pictures of me standing in a group with him. Anyway, I really encourage y'all to get to know Wesley Balco because he is a great guy as well. Go ahead, Rick.
I guess I didn't think Steve was that tall.
He's not like massively tall. He just taller than I thought he was.
Oh.
Billy Ellis is saying, yes, that was an awesome design too. Well done. The one that Annalise was cutting out was a ship that's on the Canadian dime called the Blue Nose, and it's
wasn't she cutting on the skull clock for a while too, or whatever it was?
The skull clock. Well, there was an alarm clock that Wesley Balco cut out, and the skull clock was me cutting it out, and then Wesley took over when I had to step away.
Okay, because I saw her cutting on what I thought was a clock there at one time.
Nope. Well, it was going to be a clock. Okay, the project she was doing out of walnut was going to have a clock insert in it. We just didn't get that in on the live streams, but it's going to be a clock in the end. But she was the only thing she worked on was that blue nose ship from Canada.
I thought you took a break or something when I was watching the live feed, and she went on the clock.
Nope, I took a break and Wesley took over. Yeah. If she went on the clock, I didn't see it. To my knowledge, she didn't.
The time for me, Noah, is 10:35.
Time for me in Texas is 9:34, which means Lee's time is wrong.
Yeah, it's only 9:30 here, so.
Yeah, Central Time. See, all the good people are in 9:35. Well, not all of them.
Oh, Katie said, Noah, 10:34. Where are you? Katie's on the same time zone as me.
Yeah, does Bearwood sell that Pegasus blade setup?
That Pegasus chuck, yes, they do.
The what?
You talking about the chuck? They sell the Pegasus blades and the Pegasus chuck. That thing goes on the front of the DeWalt. And again, I don't think it's made for the DeWalt, but it does work on the DeWalt.
I'm gonna get one.
I sold my DeWalt, so.
Wow, where Noah is, it's 3:35 a.m. Anyway,
wow.
I don't know where he is. I checked out his channel. It's mainly gaming stuff. If not all gaming stuff.
British. He's a British.
He's British, really?
This is by Jeremy.
No, it's in the UK. Sorry, Noah is what I do when I'm always doing accents. Just no offense intended. Anyway, back to you, Lee.
Yeah, see, I'm 62% British, and I can't do a good British accent, so
I don't know if mine's good, because when I do it in front of Jamie, he says I sound like one of the posh UK people, like the snooty people.
Like the snooty people?
Yeah.
Like, I'm from the UK. I know he's up here.
And not all of them say cheerio, but, you know, a lot of them do, you know, right? Jamie Pages, if y'all never heard of him, he's a great guy. If you've been on any of the shows I'm talking British, so I'm saying that. If you've been watched any of the live shows, he's on most of them, or has been a part of some of the either. Speaking of that, just a shout out. I just lit a second cigarette. I still got one lit. I'm not stressed, am I? Anyway, I hope you don't mind me plugging this, Lee, but it's for a friend of mine. Eloy Escojedo does a show called Mad Maker Show on Tuesday nights, so y'all be looking out for that. And Jamie Page is his co-host.
He's also my buddy. So plug away.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Eloy Escojedo. It's called the Mad Maker Show, and because I'm talking about it, I don't remember the time, but it's spelled Escagedo is his last name. If you don't know, if you need to hear that spelling again, just pause it and rewind a little bit. But it's every Tuesday night, and he does a great job with that. Jamie Page is his co-host. He has a lot of good guests on there.
Yeah, and the other guy you want to check out, he's not on here tonight, but he normally is Al Forte. And
yeah,
he has
he's on Twitch.
Or his Twitch channel, which is called, his name on there is Kilroy. I think it's 247, is it? I think it's something like that, right, Charles?
Yeah, repeat that.
It's Kilroy.
It's Kilroy and a bunch of numbers, but on
247 or 207, something.
Yeah, a whole bunch of numbers. I'm sorry, I don't have it right in front of me. But it's funny. Noah is saying we don't even talk like that. So I'm sorry, Noah, but I tried. and Katie's agreeing. Jamie Page is a good guy and a good woodworker. He's
I don't
sassy
get
like the rest of us, but he's a great guy. Go ahead.
I don't get what's with British people and tea because, like I said, I'm 62% British and I don't like tea. So there you go.
I love tea. That's what started my belly. Then I found Dr. Pepper, and the rest is history. Okay,
if I'm sick or really
David
cold,
Hart. Dave Hart is saying 79763. So look for Kilroy 79763, and you will find Al Forte, spelled Forte. You'll find him on Twitch. He's always on Twitch. It's either gaming or woodworking or both. And Steve Twaddell is in Ireland. He's from the UK, but he's in Ireland. He goes by Temple Boy Turnings. He's another great guy, very good guy. There's so many people in the community I could list off as great people. And there's Javier Anzueta does a CNC show. I don't know if Dave Gatton still does one. I don't remember, but Eloy, Javi are both members of Makers Media Network, as well as websites through Harnell Media, which is Steve Nealon, who does my website, and I appreciate that. And Squire used to do my website. The only reason I switched is the financial situation I was in. I felt like I owed it to Squire to give more consistent business where I could pay him more accurately, and I just couldn't do it at the time, so I had to drop out. But Rick, please pass it on to Squire that I appreciate everything he did for me. He got the ball rolling, and that means the world to me. Me parting ways had nothing to do with anything he did wrong, because he didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, yeah, Katie was saying she thinks Dave Gatton started up his show again. I believe he did as well. Oh, two more people I got to see in Houston was he goes by Jeremiah Brown now. I'm not sure what caused the name change, but he used to go by Jerry Brown and Michael Chipser. I got to see both of them. I wanted to see Brian Gidney because I've never gotten to meet him in person. I don't think he lives terribly far from there. He lives in Mission, Texas. Yeah. So if you can't remember Kilroy on Twitch, just look for the Odessa, Texas zip code. It's Kilroy and then that zip code, 79763. If you're interested in watching Al Forte. Anyway, that's where we're at. Back to you, Lee, on Scrollers Chat. Oh, if y'all are a Dallas Cowboys fan, which y'all probably aren't, but I am, they cut Des Bryant, man, they cut Des Bryant. What's up with that?
Yeah, I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I sure am, but you're a Cleveland Brown fan. That's worse.
Get the dog.
I cannot believe it. Well, I sort of believe it because NFL is a business, but I cannot believe they cut Des Bryant, man. He was my man. But there's a lot of good players on that team, but dagnabbit, that broke my heart.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, and Arlie Ermy died. That was more breaking news over the weekend that I found out late because of being at the show. But Arlie Ermy, the drill sergeant on Full Metal Jacket.
Dude. Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he had 74 complications from pneumonia.
Wow. Wasn't that the guy that goes, there's only two things from Texas, boy?
You don't say it. Yes. He was a very mean drill sergeant and Full Metal Jacket. He also was a Geico rep for a while until they found out he wasn't a liberal. Billy Ellis, Cowboys here too, and yes, sad about Gunny.
Yeah, I remember him now. Yeah, he did the Geico commercial, didn't he?
Yeah, he played a therapist with him.
Yeah, he goes like, you want a box of tissues? You're not getting no box of tissues.
A little jackwagon. And he also did a show called Mail Call on History Channel, I believe. But
I remember that Geico commercial where he had the box of tissues. That was the best.
Oh, Mamby Pamby, that's what he.
He goes, you mamsy pamsy. And
Mamby Pamby jackwagon or something. Anyway, yeah, great guy, terrible loss.
Great therapist.
I've seen some blooper reels. He is a great guy. Harry Anderson from Night Court just died, says Dave Hart. He was the judge, wasn't he?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, I did not know. And he doesn't. I don't think he was that old. Anyway, I know once again, then again, it's Lee's show. I'm glad. I don't mind this being off topic on my show. I freak out if I go off
I was going to tell you guys can quit complaining about football until you guys 0 for 0 like the Cleveland Browns.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have major sympathy for you being a fan. How you're still a fan, I don't understand. Some people would say that about some people. Yeah, but some people would say that about the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm diehard Dallas Cowboys, win or lose.
And someday before I'm dead, the Browns might win something.
Dave Hart, not Dave Hart. Harry Anderson says Dave Hart was 65 years old from Night Court. Wow, that's sad. And Katie's talking to Noah still. She says, okay, Katie asked Noah if he was a woodworker, and he says, am I what, Katie? She says, Noah, a woodworker. Take wood, make sawdust, hope you have something nice left over.
Designer firewood.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a fancier name for it. And Dave Hart says, who wouldn't want to be a cowboy? I tell you what, you got to talk funny and wear hats like I did that in their show over there. And contrary to popular beliefs, we have vehicles and everything. It's not all horses and wagons and tumbleweed.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you took your horse to the show.
No, I didn't.
What's that?
It would have died part way there. I had too much stuff to bring to fit it all on a pack mule. So. Anyway.
On a pack mule.
Oh, I can't believe they cut Dez. I understand from a business standpoint, but it kills me because I was a big Dez Bryant fan. I'm not saying I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm just going to throw this out there. Jeff Robinson's asking if I'm a Ranger or Astro fan. Actually, Jeff, I hate baseball and basketball. So it's really only football and NASCAR. And then when Junior retired, I got out of NASCAR because I don't like anybody else. Dave Hart says we have horses and wagons here in Amish country. And Lee is holding up Jeff Gordon's car, so he's a NASCAR fan. But Jeff Gordon is now a commentator, and who took over his car? It was Chase Elliott. I don't know if they still have Chase Elliott.
No, it's another guy now.
Yeah. And Dennis Goodson says my wagon broke down in Waco.
Chase is driving the number 9. He got his dad's number.
Okay. No, I'm sorry, Jeff. I don't like baseball. But Katie Dawson saying, excuse me, I have a horse, but I'm not in Texas.
What was his dad's old number?
Who's dad?
Chase. His dad was Bill Elliott.
I don't know.
But he got his dad's number again now. So
I can't remember who took over. Because every year somebody's taking over something, so you lose track of who's in what car.
I can't remember his name. It's someone with A, like Adderall-T or something. He's a new guy, and he took over for the 24.
Guy with the last name of Alex Bowman took over Dale Jr.'s car. Man, it breaks my heart Dale Jr.'s not in there anymore.
Yeah. Well, he's 88 forever
now. Yes, Noah, we were talking about American football. Now we're talking about NASCAR, which is auto racing. And if he's from, like some people from the UK, they say that ain't a rough sport. Rugby is a rough sport. Of course, in other countries, football means soccer.
Yeah.
Katie Dawson says, also have 5 dogs. One of them is a Mexican terrorist. His name is Charlie Barker. Stuff like that's why I want to meet Katie.
I've seen Charlie Barker on the camera before.
I've heard Charlie Barker and seen Charlie Barker. Okay, then that's something I can hold against Katie. She's not a sports fan.
Dennis Godson said, my wagon broke down in Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
I guess he was making a reference to when I said, did you take it in on a horse and wagon?
Yes, sir.
The only thing I know about Waco, Texas is that's where Fixer Upper is filmed.
That's also where David Koresh had the Branch Davidian compound and crap.
Yeah, I know that. That went down out there.
Yeah, there was also a shooting between a motorcycle gang and cops that, to this day.
That was at a religious complex, wasn't it?
The David Koresh thing was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cult, so to speak.
They just this is on HBO show on that. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, I recently watched it.
Yeah.
Yep. Sad
Did you
stuff
watch
happening.
it? Because I didn't watch it yet. Is it any good?
Well, I saw a documentary on Waco. I don't know if it was HBO based because I watch a lot of stuff online. So I don't know where it was from.
I mean, it was a documentary style, but it was a show.
Yeah.
Like a 3-episode or 4-episode show.
Oh, I saw one big episode. Yeah, and Billy Ellis talking about big fire with Koresh. Man, we are totally off topicing.
The good side is the home of
word.
Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely.
It is. Dr. Pepper came from Waco?
Well, I think Dublin had it, at least kind of with pure sugar, and that's originally what Jeff Robinson and I were talking about getting Stephen and Annalise. But, of course, I dropped the ball, and Jeff Robinson stepped up, gave them a gift, and me and Wesley Balco felt like idiots because we waited too long and didn't get around to getting them something made. No, I take that back. I think Wesley ended up making something before the show was over.
Dr. Pepper was born in Waco? Really? I'm going to research that and find that. That's cool. I didn't know that.
I love me some Dr. Pepper. If they could watch my videos, I'd probably be sponsored by them because I'm drinking out of 2 liters 24/7.
I still got to find that shirt for you, the one that says blood type Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, blood type Dr. Pepper. That's
there's a Dr. Pepper museum in Waco?
Is that Lindsay? I see popping her head over.
Yeah, she's coming.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi.
That's Lindsay. That is his fiance.
The fiance has a home.
Miami.
All right.
You guys know what that means. It means the show has to end pretty soon.
Yeah, if the wife comes in and tells you get out of there, you got to get out of there. Trust me.
I wouldn't mind. It's just like I work tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, you got to work tomorrow. You don't keep Mama awake now.
Happy wife, happy life. That's how it works.
I hardly ever drink soft drinks either, Katie.
My mom worked at a hospital, and there was actually a Dr. Pepper that worked there. You had a Dr. Pepper that worked there. That's funny.
That's funny. Wait for there to be a Dr. Feelgood Motley Crue.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper to emergency. Dr. Pepper to the ER. Dr. Pepper to the ER.
Well, that would perk my ears up. So I'd fill that IV up and just stick it in my mouth.
That'd be funny. As if he got called to the ER and the guy was dehydrated. So he gave him a Dr. Pepper.
They put Dr. Pepper in my IV. I'd put that little tube in my mouth saying it's empty. We need to refill.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
And Noah's asking, do you have to be 21 in America to drink? Yes, legally you do, but not a lot of people do it legally.
Yeah, in America, 21.
That's how NASCAR got started was Prohibition.
Illegal drink.
Bootleggers running from the cops. And then they made it a competition, and the rest is history.
Yeah, but I don't think that they were probably, some of them were probably underage, but mostly that had to do with the fact that the government banned alcohol.
Yeah. And Billy Ellis said just exactly what I said. Yes, legally, that's what the drinking age is, but not everybody waits for that.
Yeah, but I think that goes by state, the age.
Really? I thought it was 21 universal on the U.S.
I think it's by the state.
Really? I always thought it was 21.
It's 18 in the U.K., according to Noah.
Yeah, I was going to say in the UK, it's probably like 18. It's pretty low over there.
Well, see, a lot of the things don't make sense. You know, you can't, like you say, drink till you're 21. You can't buy a pistol until you're 21 in most states, but yet you can get drafted and go to war and get a gun and drink and smoke and everything else while you're in the service. And that's okay.
Yeah, when you're 18 and a half. I remember that. They handed me a draft card, fill out thing, and a voting thing.
Yeah.
Let's see this.
18, 19. I was 19 when I finally got drafted and went to Vietnam.
Oh, I didn't get drafted, but I had to sign up before.
My dad was in Vietnam. but my dad's very private, so I can't go beyond that out of respect for my dad. Anyway.
I just looked it up, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Pepper, home of Dr. Pepper, is located in downtown Waco, Texas, at 300 South 5th Street.
Why have I never been there? My wife works in Waco.
In 1991.
Dude, don't let me near there. What? Okay, my wife probably purposely didn't tell me that because she knows.
That's probably right.
But if she ever wants to get rid of me, she can just send me there.
It's called Artisan Manufacturing and Bottling Company. That's what it's called. It's inside.
Oh, Lordy. Somebody just wrote to me on Messenger asking how the show went. I said it's still going. Way off topic, but it's still going.
Here's a question. Is Dr. Pepper its own company, or is it an entity of like Pepsi or Coke?
Of course, I'm wearing my contacts. I can't tell, but I do have a Dr. Pepper here.
I think it's with
Coca-Cola?
No, I think it's with 7-Up, I think.
Dang it. Let me keep looking on the label. I'll find it because I love me some Dr. Pepper. Dang. Or they might be their own entity. I can't see because I'm wearing my contacts.
Here you go. Currently, the majority of Pepsi and Coke bottlers bottling Dr. Pepper are owned by PepsiCo and the Coca-Cola Company. After their buyouts of the major bottlers, presently Dr. Pepper, Snapple relies on its own bottling group to distribute its products. So, Snapple, Pepsi, and Coca-Cola all work together.
Well, according to the bottle, it says copyright 2011, Dr. Pepper / 7-Up Incorporated. So Rick was partially right, and I was partially right. Billy Ellis just said it. There, it's both. Dr. Pepper is their own entity as well as 7-Up.
I think though that what I was reading is they distribute it.
Oh yeah, the hell I don't know.
Make it easier.
The whole time I was down there looking, the chat was very busy. Billy Ellis says I would move there. That's probably accurate. And Noah says he likes that guy's shirt. I don't know if he's talking about my bright orange popsicle shirt or Rick, because Lee's shirt is not showing.
My shirt says I love Cleveland.
Oh yeah, you're probably not talking about that shirt because Browns are trash. And sorry, Lee, love you.
They are.
Billy Ellis said I read my can too, Charles. But my contacts are for distance, so I was having trouble seeing it.
At least we got the Cavs to look forward to, right?
Yep.
And the Indians.
I'll take your word for it because I'm not into basketball or baseball. Well, the Cavs had what's his face, didn't they?
LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron James.
We still got LeBron.
Okay,
they're in the playoffs right now. They lost yesterday though because they
suck. I think there was a couple big Houston Astro games while we were in Houston. Everywhere you went, there was Houston Astro people.
Well, they got blown up by the Pacers yesterday. So
bummer.
They'll get them back. It's a 3-game series, a 4-game series. Look at it. They'll be all right.
All right.
They were Cleveland Rocks. Yes, because we are home of the Rock Hall, so I guess it is. Cleveland Rocks. Speaking of which, they had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions the other day. So I heard that they had quite the crowd down there. For the entire time that I've lived in Cleveland, I have never been in the Rock Hall. I've been outside the Rock Hall, and I've delivered to the Rock Hall, but I've never physically walked in and looked at the exhibits. It's very expensive, actually. I think it's something like between $15 and $20 a person for the Rock Hall. That's pretty pricey. I've been in the Science Center next door, though, a couple of times. Cool place.
Sorry, I'm multitasking. I don't do that very well. Okay.
And we did get one championship already.
Yay. I know you're not talking about the Browns.
With LeBron.
Oh.
And we actually won our hockey championship too, but the hockey team isn't an NFL or NHL team. They're a AHL team. So it's the Coddler Cup instead of the Stanley Cup.
I'll pretend I know what all that means. Lee, I don't mean to, I was going to say cut you short, but since the show's running long, I'm not cutting you short, but I actually have to just step out. So I'm so sorry, but thank you for having me on, and I hope you have no regrets. And plus, your wife probably wants you to leave, but I won't tell you what to do with your show, but I need to go. But thank everybody for being in the chat. And Kia, keep tabs, and I will try to do a live show as soon as I can get all the participants in order. And we'll talk more about Houston in more depth.
Let's go through the list then. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Charles Daring, Rick Hutchinson, everybody over on the YouTube chat, Jeff Robinson, Katie Dotson, Ron Norris, Jim Bashir. See you, sir, at the show. If I don't talk to you soon around here. Bob, see you at the show too. Thanks for being here. Trying to scroll down. I already said Katie. Brian Bradburn, thank you, sir, for coming on.
Real quickly, Jeff Robinson wants to know if you ever, Tracy ever got her 65 GTO.
Yes, she did.
Oh, good.
I don't know if she ever cut it, but she got it. Yeah.
How many episodes did you do, Tim? I joked about it taking 10 episodes. That's funny.
It took 8. Yeah.
Thanks for watching, Noah. I'm sorry for calling you a troller there.
Thanks. Thanks, Noah. Thanks, Billy.
Billy Ellis.
And Hudson. Scrolling down. Ron Norris, Chat Nugget. Our new sponsors next week will be officially Dr. Pepper.
Oh, you can get in trouble with that. You might want to say just kidding.
Just kidding.
I'd love to call them in Marlboro my sponsors, but I can't because they're not.
Just kidding. Actually, but on a serious note, make sure you guys go over and check out Bearwood's website. They got Charles's patterns up there. They got the Pegasus blades. They got the offer tonight for 10% off. Remember, the code is
10 off something, or is it just 10 off?
10 OFF and then Pegasus, PEGAS.
And that's all caps.
All caps, no spaces.
Is that for the night or for just for the show?
For tonight, and it's good on the blades and Charles's patterns.
Awesome.
So make sure you go there.
It's singular. It's bearwood.com. Not bear as in not wearing clothes, but bear like the animal. BEARWOOD.com.
Yeah, like naked wood.
No, you're going to confuse them again. It's like like a grizzly. No, I'm going to screw everything up. BEARWOOD.com.
I'm with you now, Charles. Yes. It's Bearwood. 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 All right. I had to have fun with Charles. That's just how it has to be.
You'll be good.
All right, everybody. If we didn't name your name, I'm sorry. We love you anyway. But we'll see you next time. And I don't know what Jeff wrote down here. You wrote something about to have Lee patterns. What? I don't know what that is. Anyway, see you guys next show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Till next time, everybody.
Scroll on.
Click on.
No, sawdust, remember?
Oh, yeah, sawdust.